Good evening, RPG Limit Break, and welcome to the first week of this summer edition of the Duck Derby from Final Fantasy Randomizer, the Cardia Isles Grand Prix this season. I'm your co-host, Dark Moon EX, joined in the booth by Sir Linkalot. Good evening, Sir Linkalot. How's it going over there?
Evening, Dark Moon. It's going pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. It's going to be an exciting one for this first one. I had no planning involved with the flags that we have going on tonight, so I'm not entirely certain what all we should expect. We got a ship, we got a boat, not a boat, a bridge. We already have a boat. I already covered that ship. So I'm going to expect a bunch of sailing around the Circle Sea, and then maybe the rest of the world.
Yeah, as far as the flags, they look really similar to kind of like some of the spring tournament. There's some differences, but like experience is a little bit lower than what you normally would be used to for a duckling. I believe it was like 2.2 plus 150. The bosses, enemies are all 50 to 200 for stats and HP, so it's kind of, pretty standard for what we see on, like, duckling stuff. Kind of the main kind of, I guess, little bit of a difference is there is some random key item. The big one is the one in Mirage and Sky is behind the gate, so you are going to have to find Chime and Cube to find the key item that's sitting inside of the Sky Temple.
But otherwise, a fairly standard thing. It looks like we have a couple forced party members here, although most people seem to have gone with more or less the same party, even given their options. What are we looking at tonight for that, Sir Linkalot?
So the fighter and the black belt were the forced ones.
Okay.
So that's why we're seeing pretty much everybody's going with that fighter black belt. So who knows what we'll see with parties going through. We might see some 3-man strats. Other than that, red mage is nice, versatile. And then we've got the black mage for the explosive power, and potentially maybe the white mage, because, the blessings and curses, they're not the worst. Some of them kind of are bad. Like red mage has minus 10 luck, so red mages probably aren't going to be running much this flag set. But you got the rest of your party for that.
Should be a good time.
The other big one.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the other big one that you might see some notice is the fighter starts with plus 10 vitality, but does have black mage vitality growth, so you might not see much like huge vitality gains later in those levels like you normally do.
So we are off and running. We're going to go check the black magic shops and the white magic shops immediately. In Viz and the white magic, otherwise not a whole lot. Lightning 2, Zap, and Quake. That's not bad. Lightning 2 is good damage. Zap and Quake will give you some instant death. Considering prices, I'd probably take Lightning 2 and Quake here.
Yeah, and if you have a red mage and you've got the money too, it's just like there really wasn't anything huge.
No.
If you want to wait for promotion, Invis was there. But outside of that, Harm, Fog, you don't need those on a red mage.
I will point out that the chainmails were +3, so that red mage is going to be benefiting just like the fighter would. The small daggers were +4. Now, small dagger, not a great weapon, normally speaking, but it's only 2 gold and it's a +4 on that, so it's actually going to be dealing decent early game damage. I would, as you can see from Hate, I'd probably pick those up and the chainmails and just kind of cruise with that until you find something better in a dungeon.
Yes, you've got Lightning 2 for a sweeper, you've for Quake, so it's like Lightning 2's a decent sweeper. It's not a great sweeper. There are monsters early on that might survive a shot of it, so, swing on those ones you might like, ogres. Yeah. They're worth a good amount of golden experience early if you find them.
So everyone gets their stuff, everyone gets loaded up, some of them are taking some items, the rest are going out to fight some imps, which, I've seen even some pros lately start to do a little bit of an imp grind here at the beginning. Take a fight or two with the imps, get a couple levels under your belt. I don't know where you fall on that, Link. I usually just figure I'm going to kill Garland and the 2 or 3 levels I get off of him are going to be good enough.
Mine kind of depends, what my equipment is. Do I have a good sweeper that's going to be able to take care of Garland or, a good damage or insta-kill? And how quick the run is, too. It looked like it was 5 or 6 steps off the encounter for that first one, so it's not terrible to just grab it, get a quick level, especially with that black belt. If you're trying to keep the black belt safe, it did start with a little bit lower health, so it might be a little harder to keep alive.
Yeah, it depends on the gear we find and how things are going, but I would not be surprised to see some of these black belts kiss dirt, at least for a little while. But that early the early encounter off the encounter table does mean that some overworld grinds that are lucrative could be on the table come the late game.
Yeah, and for those that actually brought the white mage, I missed it on a couple screens, but the bottom left chest in Temple of Fiends actually has our white shirt +2,
Ooh.
which is important if we end up like Invis 2. You brought a red mage and Invis 2 is locked out. You might need that for later.
That's a very useful spell, and of course you can equip it to a class upgraded white wizard, which will provide some decent armor. So we got milk, which is one of the ruby, the Titan snacks. So that's the ruby there, plus the oxyale from the king and the princess. Oxyale not necessarily useful right this moment, but ruby could come into play once we get a canal and can get over to the Titans area.
Yeah, definitely. Assuming we don't just maybe find floater and canoe or something like that. But
yeah, well, then at that point, yeah, if Titan's not incentivized, then all we really care about is Sarda.
Actually checking, I don't believe it actually is.
I'm the restreamer, so my computer
Titans is not.
Okay, cool. So I was gonna say, I'm the restreamer, so my computer is so bogged down I can't go look. So I'm gonna go off on whatever you tell me.
Speaking of finding the floater, I didn't actually see what had this. Okay, never mind. Now I see. Sea is dangerous. Odd eyes have lightning 3.
Ooh, lovely. I mean, you're not gonna see many odd eyes once you get outside the out into the air, I guess I should say. You're gonna see them plenty on the ocean. But you know, it's not bad seeing lightning 3 on an enemy that at some point you're gonna render redundant, just so long as this doesn't become a floaterless sea.
Yeah, we got a nice... Can't equip it yet, but we got that Bane sword out of Matoria's case. So that's a nice weapon for promotion.
Don't need to equip it when you can just use it as an item and cast Bane against everything. Early game, it'll kill everything. Or nearly.
That is that is true.
You have Lightning 3, I have Bane. Let's see who wins.
Who gets better turn order? Let's find out.
Probably the Odd Eyes knowing this game. So, we're off to see the...
Yeah.
Yep. Off to see the pirate. Gonna kill them some pirates. Pirates here are not buffed. Pirates are gonna have somewhere on the order of maybe 12 health or so, max. So we'll kill them fairly quickly. And as soon as a good spell comes out, probably Lightning 2, although we're going with Zap from Professor Renderer, which is a interesting choice.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising to see Zap, because, I mean, pirates, if they were buff pirates, sure, but regular pirates, like, Lightning 2 is going to kill them all. Zap
kill all of them, yeah.
might not, and that's what we saw.
As we saw, yeah.
Gotta take another round of combat now.
I mean, we're going to take a third round, but I'm not too worried. Whoever he has is going to kill this, but still, a little surprising. But pirates are down. Rich Rich is also going with the pirate battle, and he's doing Lightning 2, so that's clearing them out real easy. Getting the herb off of the pirates so we can go hang out over at Elfland, which we probably were going to do anyway.
So in case you thought the sea was already dangerous enough, Sahagins also have frost.
So the thing is, when you're this low of a level, and this is for the crowd that maybe for tuning in is the first Final Fantasy you've ever seen. When you're this low of a level, basically any sweeper is instant death for your party. So Frost, while not necessarily that scary late game, is pretty freaking scary right now.
Yeah, considering the fact that you know your sea enemies, it's like the chance of you like finding a pack out on the sea, especially inner sea that doesn't have either an Odd Eye or a Sahagin, is very little. And then you knowing at this point that, okay, well, I have to be in the sea for a while because you need floater and canoe. And then the big thing there is that we got the herb, but it's only... Marsh Cave isn't incentivized whatsoever.
Yeah.
And neither is the volcano. So that means there's not a lot of incentive items. So we're probably going to be on the sea for a good chunk here.
That's kind of painful. This is going to be interesting. Look for those hero runs, especially on the sea when the encounters aren't as high, and try and min-max your way scumming across the world. I want to point out that the level 2 magic shops were actually pretty stacked. We had in the white magic, Life 2, not lamp doesn't matter, Ruse and Exit. I'm sorry, all you lamp fans, lamp doesn't matter. And then we also had Quad X over at the black magic shop. So these mages got some pretty good magic at level 2.
That's kind of rough on the red mages because there's 4 really good spells that you kind of want on that red mage. So one's got to be the odd man out. And which one do you pick?
As much as I'd like Ruse, I think I gotta go with Life 2, Exit, and Quad X, because those are going to be much more useful to me through the mid-game.
Yeah, and it's going to kind of depend on the party, too, because you look at, some of them have white mages, so yeah, you're definitely going to pick up Quad X and Sacrifice, probably Ruse, maybe Exit. You're definitely picking up Life 2 for sure, and Quad X. Those are going to be 2 spells I would be surprised not to see red mages have.
Yeah.
Then it really depends if you've got another person, because, red mages are, especially when they get promoted, if they can get something like Power Bonk, or if they just have Saber Cast, if Saber's not shared with any other good spells, they can come through kind of in a clutch if a bad thing happens to your main melee.
This is the exact ugly party you don't want to see. 2 Odd Eyes and a Sahag. Now, thankfully, Renderer got good order and was able to, got punched by a couple and then got through it. He didn't get hit by any of them, but any of those enemies could have, instantly wiped it.
I didn't see what specifically had it, but something has something that can stun as well in that group. So they just get more dangerous.
Exactly. So we got Bottle over there from the Herb turn, and Bottle not immediately useful either. That is only great when you can get over to Gaia, which requires us that floater. So once again, we're in a position of sitting there going, where do we go? Now, without the early canoe, what are our options again at this point?
I'm trying to look, because Marsh Cave isn't incentivized whatsoever. Neither the locked chest or the regular. Volcano isn't, but we don't even have a canoe that can get us there.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to see what we have in the way of, if maybe we have some loose items or something.
No, there's no loose whatsoever.
Is Canal actually highlighted as selected?
Oh, yeah, okay. I take that back. You're correct. There's a loose canal somewhere. So
There's a loose
I guess
canal.
we're diving marsh probably for a canoe.
We're diving
or not a canoe,
marsh.
for a canal. So there we go.
Everyone's fun times. Now that explains why our runners see this. Sometimes even us people that have been around for a couple years can miss some things on the flags. That explains why the runners were already checking Matoya, why they're going to be checking Dwarf if they haven't already, and why they will inevitably have to concede to the fact that they have to go dive marsh, because that's probably where our canal is. Whee!
Yeah, I mean, we've checked everything else at this point, so if it's not in those 2 chests in Dwarf, it's somewhere in the Marsh Cave.
Yep. And I don't know what exactly they're hoping for once they finally get out of the Circle C and can go hit Stardust Palace, because, well, we got the cube there for 41,000, also not immediately useful. Yay.
No.
No.
I guess we did forget the item shops, so, but yeah, cube, that doesn't help. That doesn't help in the inner seas, so.
No. This seed really wants us to go to Marsh and really wants us to turn in that ruby. It's like, you're not making any progress until you do those 2 things right there, guys.
See, now the fun question, with as bad as the sea has been,
yes,
how bad do we think Marsh Cave is going to be?
I mean, we at least know Frost and Lightning 3 are probably off the table.
That is a good thing, but so for anybody that's new that has not seen the Final Fantasy Randomizer, the reason why we asked, how bad is Marsh going to be? Marsh has a lot of different kinds of enemies, so the chances of at least one of those enemies rolling something nasty is pretty high.
Yeah, that's the reason why Ice and Marsh and Earth are generally considered some pretty awful dungeons. Not the least of which is because you actually have to dip Earth twice in the vanilla game. It's just, the more enemies you have at a location, and we're talking like multiple enemies in a pack of different types, so spiders and arachnids and scums and mucks and bones and arbones and all of those. There are only so many skills and spells in the game, so some of them are going to drop on an enemy you have to see early when we randomize everything. And so many packs show up in Marsh that something very well could likely have something awful. So Marsh was bad in the vanilla game. Marsh can sometimes get even worse in the randomizer.
Yes. Especially, like, the biggest reason why it can get so bad, too, is normally when you're diving Marsh, you have to do it so early as well.
Yeah, especially on something like this. Like, I'm personally a never Marsh player, even when I have to, like, come here late in the game. But early game, you're sitting there going, I have to clench up and really hope there's nothing gross here.
Yeah, the one redeeming factor to the seed is the fact that they have exits. So as long as one of those casters survives, if they find the item, they can get out without having to worry about, oh, great, I found my item. I have to walk out now.
Yeah, no. Having exit makes Marsh even more than even 50% easier, infinitely easier. Because if you can get into a good part of the encounter table, you can get yourself down to the bottom fairly well. But, it's that the longer you spend in a dungeon, the more likely you're going to hit one of those nasty encounters. So just being able to exit out just makes Marsh so much nicer.
Yeah. Thankfully, the trap tile wasn't bad. But even if it was, you got the item, and hey, it wasn't anything worthwhile. So. So I saw Professor Render leave after checking that chest. Did he find the canal and we missed it? Or no, he's checking top now instead. Okay.
I thought we already
he missed a couple
top.
chests on the bottom. I mean, he might have checked bottom first because he was the first one down to the bottom. It looked like, but the fact that he missed a couple chests, missed the chest in the upper right and then the chest to the right of the trap.
Well, that's not good. Because knowing what we see, that would make that more than likely is going to put one of those two as the ones that are in play.
Yeah, because I don't believe I saw a canal on his side. So I guess we will see shortly.
I mean, it's not marked off, and I trust the Woat vote. So
I guess the one thing I forgot: none of our runners, from what I remember, none of them went to dwarves. This could all be worthless dives in the marsh.
This could all be worthless. Well, there it is, upper right. So if Professor Renderer faded that box, he's going to be kicking himself later.
Hopefully he didn't forget that box exists, because, depending on how much you've played and how often you actually end up having to go into marsh, those you kind of forget. There's a lot of rooms in there that you just think, I don't need to check those. There's nothing worthwhile. Yeah, there are.
I'm gonna guess that he got creamed by something when he was down to the bottom, and because it looks like he's going back down. So
yeah, I saw him. He lost his fighter. He still had his white mage, which I thought the white mage still had 3 charges of level 2, which would have been enough to cast life 2 on the fighter to get it back up to finish checking before exiting and out. But could have been wrong on that.
But we do know the canal is in the upper right chest, so our other 3 runners have it. Professor Render will hopefully be getting down there as soon as he gets away from the shadows that he's fighting for some reason.
Yeah, and he also, sadly, we saw a quad X on the side of that, and doesn't work on the undead too well.
Yeah, there's the thing that we had a discussion about, I think, yesterday during our Weekend at Xenos event that we were just finished up running, was the fact that Quad X does not work against certain types of enemies. Essentially, an enemy has to be alive for Quad X to work against it. So that means golems can't be, robots, the undead. Then there's actually a couple of other edge cases as well, but those are the main ones. I think I heard that nightmares can't as well. So, they're basically, slimes and scums and so forth. If it's not technically alive, it can't be Quad X because Quad X means death.
Yep. You need to have a life to be able to be dead.
Okay, he's checking top first. He'll get his canal. There we go. Now just exit out, good sir. No, don't want. Oh, do you not have any exit charges?
Unless he's checking the other. Maybe not.
No, he realized he orphaned something, and he was checking all the rooms he could think of for where it could be. I think he just forgot that box was there, which fair. I've done that. I've also done that the walk up when you're hoping to get out of here.
Yeah.
So we got Jar Jar
Hopefully
over
makes it
here
out.
at the Titan Trove. He is now checking. Meanwhile, I saw Fast and Fire, I think it was just Fire 1, at the level 5 shop.
Yeah, that was a sad place to see Fast, though.
That was a very sad place to see Fast. You want Fast earlier than that. Like, honestly, I kind of want Fast earlier, or at least, like, one level later, because I really hate menuing to level 5. It's the farthest away it takes so long.
Alright, Starter does give us the crystal.
Okay.
The other sad part about that was the promotion lock slot, too, so, regardless of whether you run a Black Mage or not, you got to promote if you want Fast.
Yeah. Okay, so Crystal we're hoping is what? Canoe and the Sages have Floater or vice versa?
I kind of feel like that's almost what it has to be. Like, Northern Docks is turned on, so they can't get up there, but that doesn't get us to anything right now. And we need the Canoe with the... Like, one of these two have to be the Canoe, at the bare minimum.
Well, depending upon what is incentivized, I mean, Waterfall's going to have something in it. And then, like, something could be
We need the Canoe, though.
You're right. Something could be at Sea Shrine, though, which doesn't require anything if Northern Docks are on.
Oh, that's right. We do have Oxale.
We do.
That's not a great place to go right now.
No, I don't. I really don't want to be there right now. Not with this party and this sea and the spells that we have. I really want to go anywhere else but that.
Yeah, because we've got Fire 2 is not going to do really much of anything in there. So you've got Lightning 2, and you've got Fade. So Fade's nice, but it's also level 3, and your Red Mage probably doesn't have too many charges of that right now.
No, this is ugly right now. Oh, the fire elementals have a stone touch. That's lovely. So,
I mean, probably not going to grind on fire elementals anyways, but you're definitely not going to now.
Oh, and Viz 2 is also at that shop. I remember the meta back, a year or two ago. Depending upon what you could find, sometimes grinding on the fire elementals was a decent idea early, especially if it was too hard to get to the Agamas. So,
yeah.
Yep. I don't think any of us are ever going to do that now, of course, but it was there. It was a thing. Yes, Lord Goop.
It was a thought. It was a thought until you saw, hey, Stone Touch. Never mind.
Yeah, Stone Touch definitely precludes any idea of doing that at all. Lord Goober in chat asking, is this the Week 1 flag set? Yes, it is. This is our premiere of the Duck Derby 2021 Summer Games, so to speak. Week 1. Yeah, as Woke points out in chat, they do have a +4 Coral Sword. So, Sea Shrine with a Coral Sword?
I mean, it's definitely a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah.
Kaizoku's also have a spell script.
So, Gersharks, especially if they've happened to have rolled low enough for Quad X to do anything to them, which, honestly, 2 Lightning 2s killed one, that's a possibility. These seem like they might be in Quad X range.
Yeah, because I think it got hit with 158 before, so at most you're looking at 330, so that is definitely very possible.
Close to. I would be sorely tempted to throw out a Quad X, and especially on this one where you only have one of them. Don't forget the power of Quad X. Quad X is amazing. And if you can just grind 2 characters on Gersharks with Quad X, absolutely do it.
Oh, especially considering if you kept that Coral Sword and thinking about where you're about to go, yeah, definitely.
Yep.
But this tile's turning out to be a little bit more dangerous now with the Wizards of Hag being added.
Yeah, with the Wisehag, it's not quite so good. Bane, not going to really work against that. They have, them being later enemies, they have better M-Def. And unfortunately, while Bane works great against your characters, Bane doesn't work so good against endgame characters.
If only that was the way it worked.
Yeah. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this grind is going really poorly. Yeah, this is not... Got one!
Like, I like the idea to try to get, maybe some, thinking about, okay, this is probably what I'm going to have to do to try to get some safety levels where you're diving in and not just getting completely murdered by what's in C.
I like the Gersharks. I really don't think that this tile, especially its position, because you have to make it through the fire elementals as well, and they look ambushy with Stone Touch. I really don't feel like this is the right place to be grinding right now. So that's the chime from the Sages, which means Incentivized Sky Palace is also on the table.
The seed that keeps on giving.
Because we know the cube is for sale for 40 grand. Anyone want to sail the Sky Tower for the floater, guys?
I didn't see. Okay, so yes, Triumph came from Sages. So Matoya gave TNT. I don't. We're about to see what TNT is. Okay, just like it might be getting down to that point where it's like canoe and floater and sea and sky.
So we found the TNT.
Yeah, there's a slab. There's a slab.
Where was TNT at? I totally missed that.
TNT was in Matoya, which the TNT then led to
slab,
the slab,
which is useless to us. Yeah.
So hey, pick sea or pick sky. Those are your choices, because we're doing one of them.
Woof. So, first off, I must apologize to our runners for doing this to them, because, wow, I'm so sorry. I rolled this mess, and I apologize deeply for it. Next thing I'm doing, and I know this is weird, most people wouldn't want to, but I'm honestly sitting there going, before I can do any of this stuff, I need some levels. It might just be time to bust out the age-old friend, our pop grind.
Yeah, that would be a good one, especially to get the money, because, those are the two options that are on the table, but before it's even on the table, you got to find a way to get 41,000 gold first.
Yeah. I don't want to go to Sea Shrine. I actually hate Sea Shrine, especially with those ghosts, more than I hate, Sky Palace. I would want to go to Sky Palace right now if my spells were a little better, even as low level as I am. But I don't think with the spell output they have besides Fade, they have what can be used for Sky Palace effectively. So it feels to me like they need to go someplace where that Fade and those low-level spells that they have, like Lightning 2, are going to be effective. And that says to me, Peninsula of Power for, maybe a couple rounds of spellcasting, get some houses, do it again, and then with that 40 grand that you'll probably get from killing, the Frost Wolves and some of the Zombuls that are there, you should be able to actually have the levels and the money to effectively do a dive of Sky Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did see, he did attempt a quad X on the Gersharks. They are just above the 300 threshold.
That's brutal. That is brutal. So Rich Baroque turning in his slab, just getting that turned in out of the way. Don't necessarily say I blame him for that. That's not a bad call, just to have it done. Now let's see where he sails next. Yeah, look, I'm not a big fan of the pop grind. I think there's usually better places you can go. We don't have access to any of them right now.
Yeah, unless there's something good, if I guess Peds off the hard reset of Crescent wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah.
Something, if you wanted to, I guess, kind of split the grind up or try to get a grind while you're just trying to get some equipment and maybe some gold on top of that. Buy a few houses with the chime and go to Mirage, because there's a lot of chests there, and you just take the fights as you're picking the chests up, X out, use your house to get all your charges back, and then go dive the second floor and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Chances are you're probably going to get either equipment and or gold, what you need to get that cube. and then you can kind of pop over to see while you're in the area, and hopefully have those levels to help out.
Yeah, double dipping Mirage Tower is never fun, but the levels are good. This is a puzzle.
Yeah, it's definitely not a fun thing, but it's like kind of like there's very, very few good options right now.
You do raise a valid point though with the peed grind that you were talking about. Oh look, nuke at level 6. Of course, that's entirely useless to us right now. The fact is,
did you see what else was there? Just to rub salt in wounds.
What was that?
All the level 3 sweepers are all level 6 with nuke.
Well, that's glorious. Yeah, there are kind of like with Sky Tower. Although on Sky Tower it's a little easier to see because the tower sits almost at the exact center of the 4 encounter zones. There are 4 encounter zones technically here at Crescent Lake. So you go 5 steps off the encounter table. You could check all 4 zones that were here. See if there's a lucrative fight you could take that you could just like tent scum over and over. And if it's good, you wouldn't even have to go to Pop. This is much more accessible to the rest of the world that you want to go to. So,
and it's not even so much that it's more accessible. It's technically safer than Pop and cheaper because Pop you need save items to be able to do it reliably.
Yep.
Whereas that you've got the inn right there.
Yeah, you pop some tents while you're out to do your hard resets over and over, and then when you're low on spells, just go over to the inn. And if you accidentally take a battle without getting all your charges back, you just reset out of it because you've been saving a tent every time. It's fine. So. Yeah, this is a trial by fire here for our players today. They did not get an easy one for them to have to think their way through.
No.
Kid gloves
They're
off.
Definitely having to adapt. Yep.
Yeah.
We're not in the boot camp anymore. It's
No.
derby time.
This is a real race right here, guys. This is what Final Fantasy Randomizer does to you. So Jar Jar turning in his TNT, gonna get their slab. Realize that the options are not that great. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do next. And like, if I were in their position, I'd be sitting there going, "The hell am I supposed to go? Did the game just tell me I literally have to do Sky Tower or Oxyale?" I feel for them. Oh, wolves have Blaze, as if the Circle C wasn't bad enough already.
Darkmoon, why would you do this?
I don't know! Chadbert, Northern Docks are on. Pretty much Oxyale or the Chime Cube options are the only options we have. So they have to go Sea Palace or Sky Palace. That's it. Nothing else is available to them.
Yep, we're still missing Canoe. So,
Link, since you can pull up the flags and I can't right now, are any of the items random in the dungeons, or are they at their usual key item locations?
C is entirely random, and Sky is behind gating.
Oh! Okay, so yeah, they do need the cube for Sky. Hopefully they don't go to C for with their Oxyale, try and clear it all out and discover that TFC is the key lock area is the place they have to go, because that's exactly what this seed would do to them.
Don't wish that evil on me.
I don't want that to be the case. I just have a bad feeling. Whoa, Rich is doing it.
Enough.
Rich is doing it. Rich is the hero of the people. Rich is going to sea. I mean, if he can get out of here with the gear and the levels he gets, this is going to be a good play.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I don't hate the play. And, I mean, he went from level 8 to level 10 just on that one fight. Like, it's entirely possible he gets good stuff. Flamesword is... I mean, the elemental...
Flamesword at plus 5?
Yeah, it's just the elemental bonus for the Coral Sword. Like, this is the one dungeon where I'd sit here going, is the Coral actually better to keep on?
Yes. For this dungeon,
for this one dungeon.
After you leave this dungeon, then throw the Flamesword on.
Flamesword, totally. Well, and what I might do is I might throw the Flamesword on my Red Mage just for this dungeon, in case you happen to run across some ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is because elemental weapons are generally buffed at least slightly in the randomizer now to do slightly more damage than they used to in the vanilla game. So weapons like the Coral Sword that actually do damage against sea monsters are actually worth using in the sea dungeon. It's something to take into account. But credit to our runners. I'm checking the race room right now. Despite the hell we unleashed upon them, no one's forfeited yet.
So question chat, are black belts different in randomizer? There are some flags that we have that kind of can change the black belt from its vanilla behaviors. Most of it is actually nerfing.
Yeah.
Like it will have the crit rate of the black belt is the big one that we usually always have turned on for the most part.
And that's primarily because black belts are super good in the vanilla game once you get them ground up. And they're pretty much too good in the vanilla game in comparison to like the other two warriors at a certain point. So there's the fighters are basically left alone. The black belts are nerfed down just a little, and the thieves have a slight buff to them, to their hit rate, to make them a little more useful. Oh, the defense sword. That's nice.
Yeah, you are not going to complain about that.
Opal Sled +4 is nice, but not right now. I don't even hate the fact that Rich is taking every encounter he sees, because at this point, he needs all the experience he can get. That's actually a good call.
I don't know how much I like taking this specific fight, just because there's so much there, and you really only have the one. I think he only has the one reliable sweeper now, because that white mage is out of fade charges.
Yeah.
And you're so close to the bottom or the mermaid floor to where there's all that loot, hopefully your key item.
Yeah, and in that regard, I probably like once I'm done with clearing out mermaid, I might even contemplate like bouncing out, saving, keeping everything I got from mermaids, and then like coming back into this dungeon to do the floor that you're on right here. Just because the last thing you want is to find a ghost encounter and then to have all your progress and levels you just got wiped away.
Yeah, or even, a monster we have yet to see that just, hey, I have something dumb, and now you're dead.
Katana -2, not helpful. Okay, we had a question in chat. Slots 2 and 3 are forced. Was the fighter one of those? Yes. Fighter and Black Belt were the forced parties this time around. Forced party members, so that everyone has to have those two. Also, we got a ribbon +3 right there from one of the mermaid chests. Again, I'm not going to complain about that. None of it's progression. Yeah. Mage Stick's not progression. All of it's nice.
What's more important than that ribbon?
Yes. What?
The chest that said, "Hey, here's your gold for the cube."
Yeah, that is true.
That was a 51,000 gold chest.
Yep.
So.
I mean, I could still see staying down here and going and checking out the TFC floor, and then maybe doing the dive down to Kraken floor. I don't think I try and do Kraken with this party. I think that's a bad call. But I do think I might go check the rest of this dungeon out just to find out what the key item is. You're here. You want to make as much progress in this dungeon as you can.
I feel like other than the fact, I don't know if anybody bought it because it might have been expensive because I haven't seen it. Brack was level 4.
Yeah.
So it's well within reason that they have Brack charge, and you could risk it on, the red mage. If you have like a red mage and a black mage, you don't just have one Brack caster, but 2 Brack casters to try to get the kill on Kraken with, a cheeky Brack.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, and
if you've just got a 1 black caster, that's risking a lot. And at this point, probably your key item too.
I mean,
so
I've done that. I've come to see Shrine at level 8 and dive my way all the way down to Kraken just so I can try and rack them down while I'm here. But that's a cheeky play. That's pretty awful. So we had a question in chat for do people actually grind in the randomizer enough for the black belt to exceed the fighter? It can't happen, especially when a black belt is thrust upon you. We can get into a long technical discussion about when the black belt is actually better to grind up than just using a fighter with the gear you find. But effectively, the way it works is that the larger experience gains that the randomizer can have, and right now we're at like 2.1 plus 150, I think, is what our experience gains are at. I think 2 times, basically, the vanilla game. It's a lot easier to grind up any of your party members just by the simple grace of the fact that experience is so much faster in this game in comparison to vanilla.
So,
look,
Darkmoon, have you been looking at Hate Screen?
This is what I was talking about with ghosts.
Yeah, not only do they hit like Truck, but you gave them Gaze, Trance, and Dazzle.
God. That is wretched. That is just a gross pack right there. I already hated ghosts. I hate them even more now. So while we were talking, Professor Renderer has come down into Earth Cave. Does Earth Cave have a key item in it?
It does not. It is not incentivized whatsoever. Now, it's not a terrible idea because monsters here aren't, can be dangerous, but we haven't really seen anything inside of like these dungeons that are dangerous.
Yeah.
And there are some chests here, so maybe you get lucky, find a chest that's worth a lot of gold, you get that cube, and you don't have to come back for it.
Maybe. I'm just hoping that they realize that the Earth incentive is not turned on. Because I saw them skip that Earth chest there, skip the Earth chest in the corner, skip the Earth chest in the middle here. Kills a bat.
That's okay, nobody likes those bats.
Gets stopped by some eye mages. Skips this trapped chest right there. Comes and fights the vampire. I mean, okay, Quad X won't work, as we established before, but he doesn't have to worry about that right now. And we are checking the chest to find money. So...
And not a lot of money either.
Not a lot of money, no. Rich is here checking out these chests now. He's in the next section that actually has stuff. Yeah, chat is yelling at the players to save more often, which I don't think is a bad thing, especially with how gross that we've seen this particular seed be. Saving is not a bad idea.
Well, it's even the thing is, like, if you dive a dungeon, even if you killed something, you got some gold, you got some experience, if you left and you say, got it, save it. Because right now with what you're having to do, you want every little bit of experience you get, every little bit of gold you get, you need right now.
Ice Shield, that's useful right now, at least for defense. And it does chuck it on
Lobsters with slow and hold. So,
and Invis too.
Oh, and they've got Invis too as well. Okay, cool.
None of that matters when you cast a couple fades against them, but that's gross.
No, but the seafood party platters in Topher are going to probably love to waste a lot of time.
That, especially if they're unrunnable. Which we will find out before too long, I'm sure.
I'm actually going to check to see if everything is runnable or not.
Okay. Missed what that was, menu too fast, but it's something that he's going back for, and that's that ice shield.
All encounters are runnable. So
okay, so that's not a problem at least. If you can get away from it, that's fine. I mean, the trance and gaze and ghosts, that's another matter, but...
See, now this pack that Jar Jar thinks is taking, this is a good pack for experience.
And the canoe is and here in Sharknado. Yep. So, now that I have the item, I feel, if I didn't buy Brack especially, I feel less concerned about finishing up this dungeon now.
Considering, like, yeah, because I feel like, especially like if you've taken some of these fights, you've gotten a lot of experience in gold. You don't want to lose it, and Jar Jar finds the single eye grind.
Now that is
don't know which one he's on. If it's actually like safe to do, where you
It's
can't get
not.
other encounters.
This isn't the
Nope.
safe one. I mean, I love that tile. I'd keep taking that tile, but that is not the safe tile to take. And what we mean by safe, for those that don't know the game, is that when you're on the bottom wall of a room that has a door in it, then you can't get any encounters along that wall. There's only like a couple rooms in the entire game that violate that rule. So generally, it's a good rule. So if you're on the bottom row and you found a spike tile one step above, which would be the other spike tile that's in this room, that would be a great spike tile to take, because you can step onto the spike tile, take the fight, step back off to the low wall, not increment your your encounter rate because you can't get any more encounters, and just keep taking that tile over and over again. Here, the eye is to the left of an unsafe tile, or right of an unsafe tile, so you can't do this safely. Meanwhile, Hate is a mad lad.
I was gonna say he is the mad lad. He is going for the Kraken kill.
He has a white shirt?
Yeah, so you do have a backup, assuming Kraken doesn't have some crazy sweeper with, if you can get enough white shirts off. Mm-hmm. If Brack doesn't work, you have a Coral Sword. That is going to work very well against Kraken still.
Brack, he's got Brack, he's got a white shirt, he's got Defense Sword, he's got Coral Sword. This is doable.
I would, like, if it was me, I would throw the black belt up in top slot, put Defense Sword on my fighter, Coral Sword equip on the fighter, the ribbon also on the fighter, just like full defense on that one, and use the white shirt defense first round to just basically get my fighter to where I'm protected, and then start throwing bracks all over the place.
Wote's saying he doesn't have defense, which means he decided to go Kraken side first, which that's the call a lot of us experts would make. But that does suck knowing that the Defense Sword is out there.
The worst part about it is, since he got the key at him, I don't see him going down to Mermaid side, which means not only does he miss defense, he's also going to miss a ribbon.
Yeah, and I mean, I would do that exact same gamble every time. Like, wow, he baned Kraken.
The Bane sword, okay.
Woo! Yeah, he missed out on the defense, on the ribbon, on the 50k, while Demon Frog in chat heckles me for saying experts. Yeah, okay, thanks, Demon. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and but that is our first orblet between all four of our runners, though, too.
The Mad Lad play worked. He managed to Bane Kraken and get out with his life intact. Woo! Nicely done.
Black Belt was like, Black Belt just looked at the red mage and the black mage. Like, we got Brax ready, and the Black Belt was like, I got this. I got this,
bro. It's my time to shine. And I gotta, the thing is, I'm not saying Rich and Jar Jar might not go and do that as well. I think Rich actually went out and saved first and has come back in. They both may make that play for Kraken as well, but right now, Hate has a serious advantage over all the other runners here on stream.
So, the Black Mage finally died on Jar Jar's side, because I think he's been waiting for that for quite a while. Mm-hmm. The scary part about this is, if Jar Jar does decide to make the play to do Kraken, if Kraken does wipe him, he loses his grind on top of everything else.
Yeah, that's God, what is it? He's been here for like 3 or 4 minutes so far.
It's been a decent amount of time, yeah. Uh-huh. Wow, there's I know you don't, Excal's not usually the greatest weapon, but when an Excal rolls +5,
oh yeah,
that changes things a little bit.
Yeah, and there's that rod, so that means that Hate has access now with that canoe and that rod. And all he has to do is go and buy the cube when he finally has the money for it. He's got to at least be in no mode at this point. Oh wait, no, we're missing the key in the loot.
Yeah, but I mean, we do have Slab and Bottle to turn in, so those could, I mean, it's probably behind the floater. We're going to have to find a floater.
At this point, Ordeals...
Well, maybe not.
Ordeals and Ice are still on the table, are they not?
They are on this table, and looking at the incentives, so the Vorpal and the Power Bunk are the two like incentivized items that aren't required, like a key item. So there's two locations you technically don't need. So that could be behind Slab and Bottle.
Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. And it looks like it's Rich's turn to attempt the Kraken.
I think what I do if I'm in this position for hate, I go to Ordeals, I clear Ordeals, I get the money that he probably doesn't already have right now for the cube. I go buy the cube, and I come back to here, and I try and do Sky. I think that's the play for him.
I think I would just do Ice while I'm in that area anyways. Just because, especially if it's your floater, the sea is dangerous as it is. Like, if you're in the area, you might as well do everything you can so it's less sailing right now.
I mean, I guess you could go up, so do Ordeals because you're here, and you were, like, right here. Sail up, go by the cube. You're in the area. You can sail up and around the continent to get to Ice. That's a good call. And then take the rest of the up and around to get back over to Sky from there. That's not bad. Okay, I can see that.
So this is getting me a little nervous now on Jar Jar's side, because I thought maybe he'll do like a two-man grind to where he can pick everybody up at the end of it. But it looks like he's getting ready to kill the Red Mage off, which means he's going to be fighting solo, and he's taking a step every encounter. So there's, a landmine just waiting that could, hopefully it doesn't, but it could make things not so good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I thought he would have, like, exited out. Biff is only level 17, no less.
Yeah, and the eye is kind of like, I mean, he's taking it down with both of them swinging in one round. So hopefully that maybe this is a two-man grind, because I feel like going to a one-man grind, especially dropping, your red mage and you can't raise somebody, that you're playing really risky at that point. Especially with the black belts that can't one-shot the eyes yet.
Yeah.
Like, you probably got the healing items, but it's that idea of, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to... I mean, the fastest way out of here is through Kraken at that point. But you still
not
have
healing.
to get... Yeah, so he is going to go down to just the black belt.
Yep, here we go. Okay, well, we're in it now, Jar Jar. I hope you know what you're doing, good sir. Oh, and he's not even two-rounding it.
Yeah, he's two-rounding it, like, if he gets some criticals, but he didn't get any criticals on that, so it's, which hopefully this next, the next level he gets is going to be a lot different, because that'll give him 21, so that'll give him his extra hits.
I mean, this is working so far, but I am afraid of when he finally gets an off-step encounter, because his black belt is not ready for it.
No, not at all. I mean, you've got the Bane Sword. I mean, if you put the Mage Staff on him, depending on what comes up, but yeah, this is a scary situation right now. Yeah, because even with the 6 hits, he's still not always one-rounding these either, so...
He's also not healing in between every turn, which the second he gets an off-step encounter at 100, like, yeah, he has to be healing after every round, because the second he gets an off-step encounter, that is going to destroy him.
I mean, especially knowing what's, like, down here, like... There's been some bad monsters here, and it only just takes one of those packs, and that's over. And we get the Adamant in Ordeals.
Okay, so that puts Ice Cave on the other side of the world from the Adamant. And Adamant's basically a freebie. I don't know what your routing is there.
I would say you leave Ordeals, sail straight north. That'll get you like halfway between Elfland and Melmond. Go turn in the Adamant, and then you just sail around the outside of the continent at that point. Pick up your cube from Elfland, and then go do Ice. Or, if the Adamant gives you the floater, go get your airship.
I respect Jar Jar's decision to do a grind. I think the grind idea is great. I don't think the eye, even if it was on a safe tile, would be the play though. And I mean, maybe he proves us wrong. Maybe he absolutely proves us wrong. But with that early encounter table, if you wanted to do a grind, I think go and hit the 4 zones of Sky Palace and just see what's over there. Find yourself a sandwich grind or something.
Yeah, that would have been decent, and it would have been safer. Like that's the big thing. Like this isn't so much. It's just like when does this thing, when does the encounter hit? At this point, when's that landmine hit that we're kind of just waiting on?
Yeah.
And then the big thing is, even after that, you've got to get to Kraken, and you have to kill Kraken. And we didn't see. I mean, I didn't really see Rich's fight because that one went quick. Hey, look, you had him turned into the water. So yeah, and Hate did Bane. So we really didn't see enough of Kraken to know how dangerous Kraken actually is.
Yeah.
Even Kraken 1. With 50 to 200 stats, if Kraken rolled high on that strength, it's going to smack the black belt, and it's going to smack the black belt good.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to smack hard. And that's the thing. You like some of the early fiends, the round 1 fiends don't matter, but like Fiend 2 or not Fiend 2's Kraken hits almost as bad at round 1 as he does in his second form. Like that is not a boss you can sleep on. So with Floater there, Hate's making the right decision. He's going to go just immediately go turn that in and get himself his airship after he kills some creeps and gators.
Yeah, and I feel like after that, your best play, I know he's got the money for the cube. Go grab your cube, grab any spells from the southern continent you need, and then go check your slab, go check your bottle immediately. Because if you end up getting your key and loot, you're in go mode. You can just rush through. I mean, other than equipment, I guess that's the big thing we need to, I guess, keep in mind too. Is just like, we're looking at the ducklings, some things like, hey, I'm going to go into Topher with no ribbon. They might not be comfortable doing that. And they might need to go, hunting for a ribbon or, power bonk.
Okay, so Jar Jar got to 32.
He's going to try walking out?
He's going to try walking out from the looks of it. Oh god. Oh, this is exactly what you don't want. And you didn't want to see the camp run. 2 hits and he's dead. Oh god, he got away. Problem is, he's down to 30 heal pots.
There's the key from the ferry. Yeah, this is scary territory right now.
And unfortunately, doesn't quite have the... Oh, I would actually just fight that, honestly. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this one I would have fought for
this
sure.
This one I fight, yeah.
Oh yeah, Canary Locked. I forgot Canary Locked is also a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is an incentive is Canary Locked, so...
We know how to read flags. I'm saying that for both of us because I'm not even bothering to try with my computer the way it's at right now. No, not that way, not that way.
Alright, so... Slab ended up turning into the power bonk.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm clenched up for Jar Jar here.
Oh, I am too. I'm like, I keep glancing over. It's like, what's going on here? And I see bad things. I'm like, no, I don't want to see the white.
I'm just transfixed on him right now. Oh god. Oh god. That was a huge smack right there from a couple different things. Okay, you're killing that. That's fair. Rest of these things aren't punching so bad. Okay, good. Oh, you're just gonna punch through. Okay, okay. I get it.
Yeah, I just punch through at this point and not risk it. I think he's like 6 steps away from it. It's like, nope. I just want. I want to get out. It's too close.
Yeah, encounter table's kind. I get it. That's fine. You crazy lad right there.
Yeah, that was
insane. But look, he's got cube money now.
He definitely has Q money and money for Probably anything else he feels like.
Anything he needs.
But yeah, we thought hate was the Mad Lad. Apparently, Jar Jar decided, no, I am the more of the Mad Lad.
Hold my oxy ale. I got this. Yeah, I think everyone in chat was clenched up for that one. That was like 50% luck and like 50% cojones right there. Like, wow.
Yeah, because I mean, I would almost give a little bit more on the luck side because that ghost that he picked up, like,
yeah,
I was waiting for that to just be like, I mean, he got it, and it's just like he got out of that. You know, if he missed that run, he was dead.
Oh yeah, no, and that 15 minutes he spent there would have been a complete annihilation. Now, however, he's level 33, and the other places he goes to, including the rest of C here, gonna be so much easier.
Oh yeah, and like, so I guess that is one flag that is turned on. Black belts only are getting +3 magic defense. The masters are the ones that are actually getting +4. So normally we talk about how the black belt has the higher magic defense and things like that. Its magic defense isn't as high as you might think it would be right now.
So, Woke pointing out in chat that he was wearing a copper 4 that whole time. Copper bracelet +4. Now, early on, when he was like level 15, level 16, when that grind started, that was fine. But at a certain point, he did need to take that copper bracelet off. Good lesson for everyone. The master without anything equipped gets... Is it just 1 point of absorb per level? I think that's right.
Yeah, but in these flags, it will actually get 4. So, actually promoting early with this in these flags with the black belt isn't actually a bad idea.
Absorb, not MDEF.
Yeah.
So yeah, the absorb, like, he really needed to not have that copper bracelet on at a certain point, especially when he was doing his walkout, and that's at least part of the reason why the ghosts were hitting so hard.
It was, but I think he was more concerned because he also had the ribbon equipped on the black belt.
Fair.
I think he was more concerned with status and elementals than getting smacked around.
Which, considering the fact that he ended up with a pack of those ghosts that were trying to dazzle him, and he resisted all of that, that ribbon was probably helping him a lot.
Yeah, that ribbon might actually have saved him because, like I said, the magic it's still got good magic defense, but it's not quite as good as we would normally expect 32 black belt to have at that point.
Yeah, and it's definitely not to the point of 33 and 256 or bust, basically, for their spells. Silvers are -4. That's nice to know, but we don't want them now. So, Hate is in the lead. Hate has a solid advantage on the other runners, but Rich is behind him by not that far. And Jar Jar seems further behind, but because of that 32, 33 level grind that he did, this black belt's going to be able to punch to victory through pretty much everything he encounters at this point. So, like, I think we're going to see the chug train start to pull away for Jar Jar at some point.
Yeah, like I see Jar Jar only really checking for incentives, so like, you know, he's going to check. I don't see him probably checking anything.
Yeah.
In Mirage 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Just going straight to Sky and then starting to check for your incentive. Assuming it's not... I'm assuming he doesn't do the same thing, we don't find, like, loot here in Ice.
Paunch, 7 hits for 270. Good number of hits. Not really great damage right there. Mustn't have gotten a lot of crits. Kraken Paunches immediately kills that Black Mage. No Black Mage for you today. But who needs a Black Mage when you have a Black Belt? Punch, 220 against that fighter. Fighter shrugs it off. Fighter don't care. Fade comes out 150. That was enough. Kraken rolled very low. Kraken is dead. That's the first orb for Jar Jar. And that's going to put our 3 of our 4 runners in a nice, effective tie right
now. Effective tie as far as the orbs, yes, but Hate just hit go mode.
Yeah, he did. So we'll see.
You
were gonna say?
Yeah. The thing right now that you have to think about is that Jar Jar has a level 33. I think he got another level on the way out.
He did. He got it
33 black belt.
Yep.
The other ones look to be they're going with their fighters.
Yep.
We found a very nice Excalibur at +5. We found the Vorpal in the Canaria Treasury, which rolled +4. The sad part about both of these weapons is they need to be promoted, which means if you want to promote, we're going to find the crown in Sky, which will lead to the tail on Astos.
Yeah. So what this effectively means is that for Hate and for Rich, Go mode isn't really Go mode right now. They're probably going to want that tail. They're probably going to want a class change. Jar Jar doesn't care about class change. I mean, it actually benefits him if he was paying attention to the MDef, but he doesn't necessarily care about it right now. So the math is different for Jar Jar. As soon as he gets his turn is done, as soon as he goes to that ice cave, he's going to be fine.
He might try to find it for the sole purpose, like he's got a level 32 black belt. The thing with that level 32 black belt is, though, we're missing 2 critical spells. We have no temper, we have no fast. We know where fast is. It's promotion locked. 32 black belts are good. It's hard for them to just straight man mode, though. If it goes down to a solo one, they have a decent amount of damage, but it's usually not enough to get a pass. Unless Chaos rolls really low, or the Fiends roll really low, but the chance of all of them rolling really low if that happens isn't the greatest.
Hate not really checking any of the chests on the bottom half. Now, we know that the incentive item is in the top half of Sky because it's behind gating. Gating here being the Q block that we're going to be passing in just a second. But it does mean that if there's any decent chests down the bottom 2 floors, Hate is not going to get it. Just like Hate didn't get the defense and the ribbon over on Mermaid side. We did, however, just see out of bounds down.
Aren't these trap tiles supposed to be randomized? Or not randomized, but shuffled? Because that looked like a blue dragon in the blue dragon spot.
I mean, you can say the phrase. You can say the phrase if you want.
No.
Okay.
I'll let Chad do it.
Okay.
They like to do it.
Okay. Treyan in chat asking, does class change retroactively affect stats? No, it does not. Whatever you class change at, that's when the different stat growth begins at. So, now there are game modes that we've played where you can, like, game the system differently. We have, like, a tavern mode that you can turn on where you can hire warriors, and you hire the warriors as if they're fresh warriors at whatever level the previous character was. So in that case, then, like, a black belt hired at 42 would have the stats of a 42 black belt. A master hired at 42 would be the stats of a 42 master. So that would be different. Here, however, without those kinds of modes on, it's whatever you promote at, that's when your stat growth changes.
So, Hate already found the crown. It was actually in the very first chest he checked. Nice. It was over on left side on Sky 1.
Nice. So, crown leads to the only thing left, I guess, for him, basically, which is tail.
Correct. Yep. Has to be tail. We'll see what he decides to do, because, like I said, he has no ribbon yet. Like, you might just try to go for it. The scary part about no ribbon is you also don't have wall. Wall is locked off to your red mage, and it will also be locked off to a red wizard even after promotion.
Well, we saw his gutsy play against Kraken. Maybe it's all gutsy plays for him.
It might be. You might need that to win, too, because, like, I'm looking at kind of the spells we've seen, things like that, and we're kind of missing, like, healing spells, too. So if bad things happen,
they're
going to stop. Like, the best you have is, if your knight can survive fights, you've got life, too, but you need to go get those charges still, too.
Yeah, you got life, too. You can get some fast. Temper's going to be an out-of-the-way spot, so you're not going to have a lot of casts of that. You got your white shirt, you got your power bonk. Those were... Yeah, everyone should have those, even if they missed the defense. But this is definitely a seed where you gotta hope you can keep your knight alive to buff, and otherwise, like... Oh, wow, Jar Jar lost his black belt.
Oh, he did. I didn't see what happened there.
Biff got baffed right there.
I know the Man-Cats had something.
Glare,
I forget what it was, but I saw it. Yeah, it was. I forget exactly what it was, but it was. They had a spell and skill script. I remember that.
I think it was instant death is what it was, because they were killing some people. So that just shows the lack of MDef right there. So we do have Hate coming here for Tiamat, trying to pull the Bane off a second time. So far resisting. Brack also coming out, ineffective for both. Going a second round, gonna do another Bane, gonna do another swing from the fighter, another Brack from the Red Mage. Tiamat punches, doesn't knock anything over. Bane doesn't work. Swing for 2 for 68. Brack, ineffective. Another round again. Fade coming out, no more Bracks. 148 damage, another Bane, just in case. Who knows, it might work. Swing with that Coral Sword, 65 damage. Slow hits, that fighter is now not going to be doing anything important whatsoever. This is the Bane and Fade show right here. Bane ineffective, Fade. 121. Slowly chipping away at this Tiamat.
I mean, at this point, I'd almost just try to throw out a cheeky Quad X and hope that he rolled low, maybe.
Right? Yeah, I feel that. Quake is really not going to work here. Even if Tiamat's susceptible to it at all, MDef's just going to be too good against that. Bane's your better choice if that's what you're down to. But I'm with you. I think, there you go. There's that Quad X. Bane comes out still ineffective. Fire 2 doesn't knock anyone over. Another swing from the Coral Sword, but that's a miss. Quad X comes out. Still above 300 health. Don't want to see that. Bane ineffective, another swing, 1 damage, oof. That's just an oof.
Yeah, Black Belt on 51 now too, so almost anything's going to be able to kill it.
Yeah. Well, a punch for 274 definitely is going to do so. Now we're definitely no longer in Bane range. Now we are, like, there's no Bane to cast. We just have to hope we've done just enough chip. Still have not. Oh god, this is... I respect the hustle here,
yeah.
Hate.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a reset out, sadly, or a wipe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then hold, just for good measure. And hold again. And a smack, and that's a reset out. Ouch. So that Tiamat tells me that we need some levels. But it also points to something very important I want to point out right now. Rich is now in the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. We'll see if he can take down Tia himself.
Czar and chat cheering on our Ducklings. Ducklings doing a great job tonight. I'll give them a round of applause.
And Jar gonna with the rod. I mean, he was in the area. It's not a terrible idea, but it's gonna take down Lich and Earth Cave first.
Proximity play, I respect it. Also going with the Brack strats here from Rich. Looks like Brack and Fade being our primary options. Puts his Black Belt up front just to act as a meat shield, just in case. 2 Bracks failed so far. Fade still doing its good chip damage. Black Belt not doing much of anything because Black Belts right now. If you don't grind them up, Black Belts don't do much of anything.
Yeah, they need some levels to be able to punch hard.
Mm-hmm. Getting out his white shirt. Slow comes out. Unfortunately, it does take out the damage that the fighter was doing. So that fighter's not going to be very useful anymore. Unfortunately, indeed.
So it might be a little bit more, because the nice thing, at least on Rich's side, that Hate didn't have, Rich has the power bonk, which he's used, I believe that's the 3rd or 4th time now. So even if it's only 1 hit, he has the potential to do more damage just because he's going to be getting through the absorb that TF1 has.
Good question in chat from Smoke Bullington. How long is this run? Probably hour and a half to 2 hours. Probably. It's unvetted, so we don't know how long it's going to take, but it goes until it goes.
Yeah, and the start of this seed wasn't the most friendly. We'll put it like that.
Unkind. Yeah. So Rich is in a similar position to where Hate was at. Ran out of spells, having to do chip damage with fists and swords and whatever random items they have. It's ugly. This is not a kind Tiamat at all.
I mean, with the amount of turns he took on a power bonk, I don't know why. I understand it, it's only one hit, which isn't great, but hopefully you're swinging for some damage, because if Bane goes off, cool, Bane goes off, but I feel like with the power bonk, you'd be better off just bonking yourself up a few times and then going for it.
Yeah, and the thing to remember, I think Bane is 16% chance to hit, so it'll hit eventually, but you gotta survive long enough for that to happen. It's not great odds.
Yeah. So wow, I don't know what it was, but apparently something on the way down, or Lich himself decided, well, we still killed Lich. But something killed that black belt of Jar Jar's. That's not a good thing to see that black belt keeps getting destroyed by things.
I think it was the image, and it was probably another instant death of some kind.
That's a scary thought, thinking like this is who's supposed to get me through Topher, and I'm dying to every trash known to man.
Yeah, and that's a concerning thing. Knowing the number of instant death spells that are out there, this is concerning for that black belt. This is the kind of black belt where you're sitting there going, you know what? I think I need a gold bracelet and that ribbon on them, because they're not taking it otherwise. And yeah, Treyan, BB, the black belt can't wear a ribbon and keep his no-equipped defense. So if he puts a ribbon on, which only technically grants 1 point of defense on its own, although it's a +3, so it'll actually be 4 points of defense, you also need to throw some actual armor on there, so the gold bracelet or something. I missed it, but Rich actually killed off Tiamat. I missed with what?
It was a Bane. Bane finally stopped.
Finally landed. Okay.
So
there we go. So that actually puts Rich in the lead now, because Rich is in the same level of go that Hate was. So
yeah, he just has Lich and Carry, so he's kind of got the easier dungeons.
Yep. First things first, gonna go turn in that crown, gonna get himself that tail he's expecting will be there. Or first gonna go get equipment or something. Maybe he didn't do his herb turn in yet. Has he forgotten what he's done? Okay, now we're going northwest. Okay, that's fine. I've done that before. I've gotten confused over what my key items were. That's fine.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah. Here comes the tail. When we're gonna see Astos on Rich's side, probably won't last too long. We've got a Hate versus Tia 1 round 2.
Doesn't even survive the Quad X. Rich has taken that out. Got his tail. He's good to go. We'll see him class change and then figure out his final steps. But Hate, let's focus on Hate here.
So he is changing his strategy a little bit. He is getting white shirts up to protect his team.
Smart.
While casting the Brax.
Smart. But the Bane hits. That Bane sword. Tell you, that Bane sword is doing some work.
The Bane sword is the MVP.
Yeah.
It's the MVP for Hate right now.
It is. Yeah, Hate has 5 party members. The 4 Light Warriors he started with, and the Bane sword. Wow. Okay, so Hate's not that far behind Rich. Just has to go do his crown turn in, and he'll have his tail. And then we'll see these guys get pretty close to synced again, probably.
Yeah, we're going to see Rich do some equipment changing, equip that X-Cal, because now he's definitely got a powerful weapon.
Meanwhile, Jar Jar also has 2 orbs lit. He is going off to do carry already. Does not have his loot or his key, though. Has not done those turn-ins just yet.
Yeah, we'll see how he decides to do this, because, sure he's going to make his way up north, and he'll sail right by Ice Cave, which has the loot. But we'll see if he decides to stop there or not.
Well, he has turn-ins to do. He probably is going to do his turn-ins first and hope he doesn't have to do anything else.
He's definitely not worried about his equipment because he's skipping everything, even the boxes you can get here in Volcano that are just absolutely free.
Well, Black Belt, he doesn't care. And I get that. Rich is off towards Earth, having done his class change and his re-equipping. He is definitely running 3-person at this point. That Black Belt has been kissing dirt for at least half the run.
Yeah, the thing is, I believe he's already at 22 when he did his promotion, so if he wants to get a decent amount of charges, he's going to have to get up to like 27, 29 on that fighter.
These gargoyles are gross. Squint and Blizzard.
That might have been what killed the Black Belt, thinking about it.
Yeah. One of the many times the Black Belt fell over. And that's carry down for Jar Jar, a blink and you miss it fight right there. That puts him 3 on the board. Takes the lead for him, but he does still have some incentive hunting that he has to do, so that lead is going to get chipped away pretty quickly.
Him doing Ice Cave, though, if he does, especially if he does Fairy first, which you would imagine you're going to do Fairy before going into Sky or checking Slab.
Yeah.
He'll be in go mode after Ice Cave, pretty much, if that's the next stop, which I doubt he's going to check anything, and Sky is just going to go right to T, which is going to be quick, so
yeah.
This kind of depends on, when Rich wants to make that play into Topher, because, by all rights, he should be the first one to 4 orbs, potentially, unless Trash says otherwise and he keeps wanting to stop him.
Well, and Hate is going to bleed a little time here, because he's decided he needs to do at least a bit of a grind for his characters.
Well, this makes sense. He did do the promotion, so, getting spell charges on his knight. I mean, at least for life, too.
And the good dungeons are out of the way for him at this point, so it's get them now or desperately hope that you get just enough levels while you go down to Earth and Fire, which doesn't really tend to happen. So, yeah, no, if he wants his full 4 charges of life, this is pretty much what he has to do.
I mean, and we're talking about leads, but like the main thing that we've got to get through too is Topher, which is the great equalizer. Your party can be the greatest you can possibly think it needs to be, and Topher has other ideas for you.
Yep. Rich additionally has the cruise control on. He's coming down here into Earth. He's going to get that 3rd orb lit. Question about whether or not Renderer went back for Cube yet or not. Link, did you see it? I didn't see it.
I did not see if he had went back for the cube or not.
Well, we'll keep an eye out on his
You
items.
almost imagine he would, considering everything he has right now, but yeah, I honestly do not know.
And he's checking a lot of chests.
I mean, he's also going for the idea, fighter, so he might, need the equipment. Ribbons, armor, something more than what he has. So it looked like he's swinging, that looked like a scimitar, so...
Yeah.
If that's the case, he doesn't have the coral, he doesn't have the flame sword...
He has an Opal plus 4, but he doesn't have it equipped on anyone.
Well, there's a ribbon in the Volcano Armory, so that's a nice check.
That's a nice pickup, yeah.
Rich is going to completely skip that. And also, Jar Jar did actually decide to go into Sky first before checking turn-ins. So we'll see if this is just I'm just going to go right to Tia and kind of make the gamble that the key is in one of the incentive locations and hope it's not somewhere in Sky, or he's going to start doing some clearing of sky. If he does, if he starts on floor 1 and checks like, you imagine most runners would,
Yeah.
he'll find it, quickly. So
Fairly
it's not
quickly.
too big of a deal.
Hmm. Now, admittedly, he menus really quickly because all the heal pots being up top makes it very easy to menu quickly. But I didn't see the cube in Renderer's inventory just yet.
Yeah, and Jar Jar is skipping boxes. It looked like he was about to go left side and said, "Nah, I don't need to check boxes." And yes, completely. Well, we'll see.
That's
it's like
risky.
He's gonna be skipping too. Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's what you got to do.
I don't necessarily hate it. I've done that gamble before too, but that is risky.
I mean, it's the idea. Like, if you're in a one-on-one race and terrible things have happened to you in the seat so far, and you think, I got to do something to make up some time and hope that, maybe, just maybe, Sky wasn't needed. It does take a long time to clear out Sky if it's one of the last boxes you check. Then that's the thing. But especially, when you're in a big, huge run of this, I believe there are 27 people racing. Yeah, there's 27 people racing. If you're trying to, be one of the top people leaving, you've kind of got to make some gambles and, do things that not everybody else is going to even think about.
Yeah, when you're racing against a pack this big, your gamble's got to be bigger if you want to come in first. The thing is, though, like racing against a pack this big, you also the math is different about how you'd make your plays in comparison to like if it's a one-on-one match. So it's interesting to see how they're handling this right now, all things considered. So with that, Rich now has all 4 on the floor. He is class changed. He's equipped up. He has everything done that he needs to. He just needs to head back to the Temple of Fiends Revisited and finish out his run.
Yeah, unfortunate thing for Jar Jar is he lost his fighter and his red mage on the way up Sky, so he has nobody to raise at all.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think his black belt, so long as he doesn't get like slowed, should be fine for this fight. But that slow is going to be a problem. He's taking the war mech.
Yeah.
Well, now he's down to oh, that's bad. Oh, that's really bad.
Yeah, 7 for 98. It's now fast. It's definitely time to it's time to go.
Heal, thank you. That war mech was not playing around.
No, not at all. And that's kind of a scary thing to see. If Warmech rolled like that, and kind of the even worse part is, I mean, we saw Fast get off the table. That's kind of one of those scary spells you can see on like Tia, Kraken, Chaos, I mean, even Carry too. Those are all scary to have fast. But other than that, we just kind of saw some like mediocre sweepers, not actually crazy spells that you kind of hope Warmech has, because if Warmech has them, that means the Fiends don't.
So, Rich is at least now in the Temple of Fiends. He's making his way down. We're going to see how his run goes.
And Jar Jar is getting all the encounters on the Bridge of Destiny.
Right? Yeah, I was gonna comment on that. Like, everyone was talking about how kind the Bridge of Destiny was to the other runners. Rich apparently gets it all.
And the bad part is, like, he's early on in the bridge. So I was like, hopefully he gets a good run. And no, he didn't. Because he's only got like 13 more heal potions left.
Yeah, he's slowly bleeding health and time here. This is a bad place to be right now.
Yeah, Wo did point this out. Thankfully, Hate did get the ribbon from Volcano Armory, so it does have a little bit of protection going in.
Jar Jar finally gets away from everything that was on that horrible Bridge of Destiny. And he's got defense
The
up.
heal potions, though.
2 defenses. Slow and effective. 3 defenses. Already missing. And now he's going to try punching. 8 hits for 516. Another smack probably will take care of this. No, well, got to be a better smack than that.
Yeah, 8 for 108. That's not what you're looking for.
No, it's getting worse. This is a tanky Tiamat.
Yeah, we're at pretty much vanilla health at this point, a little bit above, so he rolled up on the health. And yeah, that black belt was just not getting the crits whatsoever.
It's a bad thing to see.
There, 5 for 189.
Honestly, with everyone else in your party dead and your black belt right here, if you're sitting on a stack of saving items, I might just do another grind right here outside of the Sky Palace once Tiamat falls over. Like, I think you need all the stuff.
Check for check for Sandwich Station or Tyros or something like that. See if they're here and just take it to 42.
Get your 42. Oh, he's got 24 houses and 14 cabins. This is Grind City right here, but he's wandering away.
Alright, I did not see Lich 2 because Lich 2 probably did Lich 2 things, and we're going to see Carry 2 on Rich's side, though.
I saw it briefly. Lich did exactly what you said. He was Lich. He fell over. Carry 2 also gone.
Yeah, got a nice swing from the Excalibur, and we got a good roll in Fate as well. It was around like 750 to 800 health, so Carry actually rolled up a little bit up on the health, too.
There's that nasty pack that we were talking about, that seafood platter. Does get away, but yes.
It's not...
You go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not so much nasty as it's not going to deal like too much damage to him other than the lobster's swinging, but the lobster's having all the spells and scripts, like, can just waste a lot of time. And so many encounters on this floor for Rich, too.
Well, I think Rich is at that point in the encounter table that Jar Jar was at on the Bridge of Destiny. Just back to back to back. Because that is something to point out, is that as you go down in the Temple of Fiends, the encounter table actually gets more populated. The way the math works out, you have a higher chance of getting encounters deeper each floor you go in. So...
Alright. Jar Jar is also in a Topher, and Rich is about to pull Kraken 2. So let's see what kind of crazy things Kraken 2 has in store for us. That was a miss from the black belt. And Cure 4 comes out, so at least it's here, not chaos.
Yeah, exactly. But that's still scary. That's still 2 hits, 2 damage from that black belt. I mean, the black belt doesn't have a ton of levels, but still.
Yeah, I'm wondering, did Rich not, unless he maybe just doesn't have the charge, but did he not go pick fast up on that Red Wizard?
He might not have. I didn't see him go back for it.
Oh, Tornado. High damage.
This is not going well.
Yeah, and Jar Jar forgot to pick up his key before coming out. And there was a good swing from the knight. We got a 3 for about 450.
Mm-hmm.
Down goes that White Wizard, though. Lit 2 does, Lit 2 things, not too much. There was a big swing. 3 for 762, but Kraken still stands.
Trying a quad X if this doesn't kill it. Well, 1,000 damage is going to kill it, yeah. And thankfully he should have life too on a couple different party members, so he can get the white wage back up.
Yeah, the red wizard should have a charge. Yeah, definitely. So the nice thing is we saw Cure 4, we saw a tornado come out of the pool on Kraken 2. Those are kind of like, Chaos especially, you don't want to see have those non-elemental, like, lethal spells. And then Cure 4, Cure 4 does Cure 4 things. You don't want to see that on any feed, but somebody's got to have it.
Yeah, that means it's not on Chaos. I've seen enough fights recently where Chaos had the Cure 4, and that was practically run ending for those runners. So it's good to not have to stress about that.
Right, but we're starting Tia 2, first round, just kind of a little bit of chip damage with power bonking the knight up. Tia 2 does swing 2 for 231 on that master.
I think master's pretty much just there to act as an ablative meat shield, so that's not the end of the world there that the Tiamat's hitting for that kind of damage.
We also have Hate and Topher now as well, already on the Earth floor actually.
Right behind Jar Jar at that point, yeah, or he may be right ahead.
Yeah, he's right ahead of Jar Jar.
Yep. Jar Jar having to go and get that key kind of slowed him down. But right now it is definitely...
Lich 2 doing Lich 2 things, like Ink, that was the big thing. So
Lich 2 doing Lich 2 things of barely existing and then flying away in a puff of dust.
Yeah, but Rich gets Tia 2 down, so all that's left is the chaos. The big baddie himself.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Rich is the first of our on-stream runners to go and face off with the big man himself. Make sure to pick up your black belt. There you go.
You guys like I get that nice little meat shield.
Mm-hmm. Put up your body armor. Literally a body that's serving as armor. White shirt. Fade. Power bonk.
Yeah, he must not have went and got fast because Red Wizard's definitely got a charge of 5. So
that's a problem.
That is a huge problem.
That is a massive concern. I don't know if he had the ribbon on that fighter, but if he did, it did not matter. 3 and 256 did its thing. He's down to Desperation Brax.
And this is kind of one of those reasons I know we brought it up earlier, like the saber spells, just those kind of spells that your Red Wizard can have that in case something bad happens like this, like the Red Wizard's up and he just decides to reset that. It's just like, okay, this happened. I've got the backup plan that, it's not the greatest plan in the world, but, maybe in a pinch it works. Yeah, Hate and Jar Jar pretty much holding hands through this Topher at this point, both on the Kraken 2 fight now. We did see Fast come out, and there's 2 for 191 on Hate's side, so we'll see how this goes on the others.
I want to thank Life Reboot for coming in with a raid of 3 here. Thank you, Life Reboot. The welcome to the party that is the Duck Derby on RPG Limit Break. We are in for a bit of a tough one right here. Chaos does feel like a bit of a doorstop right there.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, if you got those ribbons, that Cure 4, that hurts on Jar Jar's side because Kraken was over 1,000 damage, so almost dead.
Something to point out: Quake is not going to work. Yeah, that Quake is not going to work against Kraken. As a sea creature, he cannot be quaked.
Let 2 get the chip damage going. 59 damage is better than nothing right now. 5 for 596. We got 2 for 84. Down goes the fighter.
he really needs to. Well, there goes some red mage. He really needs to grind that black belt up higher, because that black belt's just not working for where he's at right now.
Yeah, I mean, got through it there, but yeah, we'll see what, how. Got to get to Tier 2, then we got to get through the rest of the Sky Floor, and we'll see. Because, I mean, Tier 2 didn't seem too dangerous, but it's the idea that it's like you don't have a high health. I mean, okay, 659. You're really hoping to not see like nuclears, which we have yet to see any of them. So that's kind of the scary part. And we saw Zap so early on Chaos.
Yeah.
Who knows what he has still? Yeah, 2 for 67 is not what you want to see. Okay, 4 for 280, that's a lot better. Oh, Black Mage down on Hate's side. 3 for 66, 4 for 41 from the Excal.
I mean, they're getting through. They are getting through. Hate's going to be the next of our on-screen runners to take his plank against Chaos. We're going to see if this goes any better for him.
Yeah, Jar Jar got through Tier 2 as well, so the mad mode continues.
All you
time
need
to
is
switch
one.
that ribbon over.
Yeah. All you need is one. If Will Bloodworth has proven anything to us, all you need is one.
So he is switching the Vorpal over to the Knight for Hate. So
It's well, Excal isn't.
Excal.
Yeah, Excal isn't like the +5 on the Excal is some nice damage, but Excal isn't that great against Chaos because Chaos doesn't have any elemental weaknesses for it to do extra damage from. Vorpal may be the better one if you can get it buffed up enough to actually matter, but the May is the question. Zap coming out, killing.
So Chaos has slow too. Thankfully, the Black Belt resisted that.
So
fighter down.
Not so good for Hate. The fighter is down due to that zap right there. So again, question is, who has the ribbon on Hate's party?
I'm not sure. All I know is I did see the thing you didn't want to see. How about 2 of them? Chaos has 2 nukes.
Oh. So what you're telling me is this seed started bad and is now ending bad.
Yeah, it was, really bad start. Middle was decent.
Okay,
it was
yeah,
all right.
it's
And
okay.
then the end was just like, hey, I'm going to give you a Zap double nuke Chaos. So
yeah.
have fun.
This is astoundingly ugly.
Yeah, I feel like okay, so on Jar Jar's side, he did have to man mold the later parts. The thing that is kind of concerning about that is just like, even with the rest of your party on Chaos, you don't really have healing spells to help out after a nuke if your party survives.
Yeah.
You don't have Temper. You don't have Fast. You don't really have any supporting spells outside of somebody has a white shirt and instead of using defense on the black belt, they can just start swinging immediately.
Yeah.
And maybe, doing some power bonks beforehand, assuming he has the power bonk. I don't even know if he has it.
I don't know, yeah. So yeah, Chad is commenting whether or not he should be grinding the black belt, and like in the case of Hate or Rich, the grinding will help them some with their levels, but it doesn't feel like it would have a huge impact on them the way it would for Jar Jar, getting those extra, 8 or so levels he'd be looking at for his black belt. Like, the black belt just becomes infinitely better once you take them up to a level 42 from 32. So, if anyone here should see that how that fight went and think, I need to grind, I think it should be Jar Jar.
If it was something, like Kraken took his entire team down, he had Fast, he had Tempers, and they just weren't there for Chaos. Okay, sure. Make the jump in again. It's like, what? Got bad RNG on Kraken. Let me switch up my tactics on Kraken and get through with at least one person who can raise, and then take care of things.
Yep.
But there really isn't a supporting cast on Jar Jar's side. I mean, like I said, the white shirt, that's basically the supporting cast is the white shirt.
And yes, Life Reboot asking in chat whether or not this is race 1. This is race 1 for the Ducklings. This was their opening, and wow, was it something of an opening. Hey, Professor's going off and finds himself a blue steak.
Yeah, he did take, unless maybe he might have wiped to it. I don't know. I know he was on TO1 for quite a while. Nah, it looked like he did take a wipe, sadly. So yeah, he's still got that Scimitar +5, but he's got a Coral 4 sitting there. I don't see the flame.
Rich is down to just his Knight, but Knight does take out Tiamat, and Knight has at least one life spell left.
At least one.
Yep.
Yep, one charge.
One charge, all you need.
Yep. Pick up somebody who has more life charges. See, like on Rich's side, because we didn't see who had his ribbon on the first Chaos fight. If that was something where, like, you know, the zap happened and that's all he saw, and you got the 3-2-56, you definitely just go back in and be like, you know what, I got unlucky. Let me try this again and hope it works. Okay. Fighter definitely is the one with the ribbon.
Okay. So we're here this time. If Fighter tips over again, then it's bad luck at that point.
I'm just wondering what the White Wizard has to help, because we know there's 2 nukes, so it's just like there was a little bit of time. I think there was 1 spell between the 2 nukes. So there's a little bit of time, but 2 nukes is going to wipe everybody but that fighter, and it could even wipe the fighter too.
Does not matter.
Because that happens.
He needs to buff for all his buffing is worth. Okay, he's in.
Yep.
This is desperate now. Quad X was the right spell to see right there. Not going to do anything. There we go. Now he should be nice and buffed. Oh, still managed to get through. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, he took a smack and another smack. 297. We know
that is. Yep.
Oh, a 388 nuke. That hurts. Alright, Jar Jar past Kraken 2. Hate is back on Kraken 2. Jar Jar's in the unfortunate situation again. The red mage is down. That is his only person that can raise because he has not class changed. So he will be at minimum is going to be a 3-man against Chaos. Oh, there's the other nuke. Tia 2's got it.
Wow. So even though he made it this far with the party, now it's man mode once again.
Yeah, I kind of feel this is absolutely the point. If you get bounced out, you just, you bite the bullet, take the black belt to 42. It's like I'm fine at this point. Like if I get back to Chaos with just this black belt, I'm fine. But yeah, we'll see if any of our ducks, if they get kind of bounced out again, if we're going to see them adapt.
And he's got the buffing. The problem is his health is at a point where he can't really survive the 2 nukes in a row, and he's also not really doing a whole heck of a lot of damage with this black belt.
Yeah, 7 for 246. And Chaos can have anywhere. There's the first nuke. Thankfully, that nuke rolled low, though, in this case. Oh, 7 for 7.
And then he clips in.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, no. He could have survived the 2 nukes, but now it's iffy. Oh, he survives, but it is squiffy at this point whether or not he can make it through.
Yeah, that's not a lot. Pretty much just, yeah, well, Ink's not going to do it.
Zap won't do it, Stun won't do it. Slow 2 didn't hit, that's good. Not a punch. 7 hits for 131, that's good to see. 7 hits for 335, but the nuke will take care. Oof. You need a grind, good sir. No, okay. Hate's also here right now. He's got 2 party members, a fighter, and that nuke. Oh, the Quad X takes out the Black Mage. Down to, oh, and then the nuke. Okay.
Yeah, Chaos isn't pulling any punches.
No. No, he's very much...
And and Hate's the one that does not have the defense sword either, so...
Yeah.
I'm not sure how close he is to evasion cap.
Not good enough for nuke, that's for sure. Nope, there's that understandable long pause looking at the game going, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. I've been there, I feel that.
He's gonna take another dive.
I mean, he was close. They've all been close at this. They've all been dealing solid damage to crack Chaos. It's just none of them have quite managed to get there with it. It looks like Jar Jar is going to be doing a 2-man grind in Topher. This is interesting.
Oh, and actually, maybe, like, it's still dangerous because they could go through it, but they've got Glance. All you really need is that Red Wizard to get glanced, and then you can kill everybody off. And once you're done with your grind, use a soft exit out, and you can save your grind at that point.
Would be nice, yeah.
All right, Rich back on Lich.
Rich on Lich. Sounds like an album cover. Or an album title. Black Mage is down for Jar Jar. That's one of the party members he was wanting to kill. Hate continuing their way down through the Earth Cave, or the Earth Floor. Getting topped up. Gonna respect this Lich. It's the one time you don't respect the Lich that he suddenly has, like, nuclear or something. You're like, I needed to respect him. That was my fault.
Yeah, first turn nuclear, first turn nuke, something like that. And he gets turn order. It's like, hey, my entire party's dead. Great.
Yeah. What was that you guys said about not respecting Lich?
Don't respect Lich until you need to respect Lich.
Until you need to. Lich is not worth respecting except for those times when he is.
All right, let's see. Rich made it past carry 2, is back on water floor. So I'm interested to see what happens like with Rich, Jar Jar, Hate if they wipe on this one, because this would be their third wipe apiece, and normally that's kind of like, especially like the veteran runners, when you get bounced out a third time, that's when you really start to think, do I need to just go get some levels somewhere? What do I need to do? Because something's not working at this point anymore, and I need to change something. Kraken 2 deletes the black belt. Rich. And Hate quickly through character 2 is almost a Kraken himself. Got stopped by some Gersharks and Wissags.
Jar Jar got his party down to 2.
Oh, I see what he was doing, because there's the Agamas here. He used Topher to quickly kill off his members before coming to the Agama.
It's not bad.
Rich down to Solo Knight. Hate's got his entire party up. Uh-oh, a stone, that's not good. Gets out of it, but that's 7 health. And yeah. Rich gets bounced up.
That was not going well for him.
He's just gonna go again, though.
Professor Renderer, meanwhile, has all of his key items. Is now, I think, looking for a potential grind he can take, and then is going to be going in and starting to clear out his orbs. Having gotten bounced out of Sky Palace, I think he's a little gun-shy about how things are going. Hate now onto the Tiamat floor.
And pulls Tia 2.
Yeah, Tia smacks that black belt up front, but that's a black belt's job. Gets a white shirt out, gonna do some locking, gonna do some fasting. Gonna try and get this party to survive through to what comes next. Black belt down, black belt not a big deal.
The black belt did the black belt's job.
He died. So just doing chip damage right now. That's also what Tiamat's doing. Tiamat dead, though. Very nicely done.
Yeah, probably gonna pick the black belt up. Heal everybody up, and we'll see what happens with Chaos.
His exit is right next to his life, too, and I gotta tell you, I was suddenly desperately afraid he was about to exit right when he was trying to bring someone back to life.
Yeah, that's a thing that's never... That never happens.
That never happens, yeah, no. Here we go, Hate's next run against Chaos. Gonna see if this one goes better.
White shirt fast, lock 2, and a power bonk.
Doing the basic buffs. I think that's pretty much what you gotta do right now. You gotta get your party in a position where it can survive long enough to get buffed up as he loses his red mage. Because otherwise you're just not going to make any progress. He's getting the lock 2s out, which is also good. And the slow 2 doesn't land on the fighter, which is beneficial.
8 for 271 is decent damage, so you probably don't need the Lux, but, you know, not really much else to do. I mean, you could nuke, I guess, but probably throw that last Lock 2 out just to be safe before starting the nukes to get some extra damage to help the fighter out. Before, you know, Black Mage... well, never mind, Black Mage gets erased.
Yeah. Just get out the rubber end of that number 2 and just... But yeah, fighter's starting to crank out some damage. 400, 500. He's getting the chunks in there. Black belt's doing black belt, low-level black belt things of 6 hit, 6 damage.
Hey, that black belt has survived through a nuke and a zap.
He's doing so good.
That was 6.
Look at that
was
guy.
6 for 58.
Yeah.
Survives again.
Yeah.
8 for 8. Wow, this Chaos actually,
Oh,
he's a chunky boy.
Black belt kill stole. GG's to
The
hate.
black belt with the kill steal.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, get the GGs in, everybody.
It's so good. So that's gonna put right now. So we're gonna actually reveal some of what happens right there. That is gonna put Hate in 11th place overall, first on stream for our Ducklings. Coming in first was Earthwing Angel with a 133.18, followed by Mushman. Second place 136.47. Third place was Tomza with a 142.19. Kumo was fourth place with a 147.06. Fifth place Adam Rupp with a 147.11. Goats Pirates 6th place with a 147.21. Tetron then in 7th place with a 148.39. Nightmare Phoenix 8th place with a 155.39. 9th place Kadalek Mizrim with a 157.08. Papa Ducks in 10th place with a 157.27. And Hate right here, official SRL, we're not on SRL anymore. Official racetime.gg time of 157.56. GG's to Hate right there. Woo! Woof, woof indeed. We'll see if we can get Hate in here for a little bit of a conversation about the terror that was that seed.
I mean, I see him in the waiting room, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
pull
grab
him in.
him.
Yeah.
And GG's Hate.
Thank you. I am glad to finally be done with that chaos. Great.
So I think Link and I are gonna have a ton of questions for you. But first off, so this was, I know you've been through the boot camp and everything that goes with it right now. How did this compare to what the boot camp trained you for?
The boot camp did a pretty good job of prepping me for this overall. Okay. The only thing that it really couldn't prep me for was, well, rando gonna rando.
There was a lot of that. What was it? The Odd Eyes with Lightning 3, the Sayhags with Frost, just the number of places you had to go, and the fact that it basically said you have to go to Sea Shrine and Sky Palace as your first 2 big dungeons, because that's where progression lies.
Yeah, I am very glad that Brack rolled level 4 and that I found that Bane sword early on, because that was what let me get through Sea Shrine.
Yep. Oh, that Bane sword kill was great. So take us through your thought process with Seed when you were playing through it.
Honestly, right now, thought process, not that much. I've been up since about 5:30 a.m. my time, so thought process is, I'm a potato! Mostly, though, it was just like, alright, let's let the seed tell me where to go. See what I've got available, based off of what key items I've picked up, what locations I can actually get to, and hope that I can avoid ice as long as possible. Tag never ice.
Link, you got questions?
That's honestly why I was kind of glad when I was like, okay, the only place I can logically get to right now is Sea Shrine. I've got Brack, I've got Bane. I'm gonna make that a little bit low-level run at Kraken and hope. And I am so glad that that worked out at least.
Link, you got questions for our runner?
The first question I have is, how do you feel about the little black belt that could on Chaos?
I'm helping! Yay! I'm a helper!
And then he got the kill steal.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I don't care. It was chip damage.
Yeah.
As long as Chaos died, that's all I care.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay, we got Rich coming up here for his Chaos, his 5th or 6th Chaos fight. I think we're gonna focus on him, and then we'll get back to you with some more questions in just a couple.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to resist calling the Chaos fight, because I'm just so used to doing that.
Yeah, you're usually in the booth with us on these things.
Go, Rich!
So we got a punch.
Rich is going to start with
Okay,
yeah,
you got
we're
it.
going to start with the little black belt that could strats.
Well, nope, not anymore.
Yeah, this little black belt can't. Sorry.
No.
Zap only gets the little black belt. Get some white shirt. Get some defense on the fighter. It's going to swing with the red wizard. I didn't see. Did that slow 2 hit?
I missed it.
I missed it. I hope it did not hit, because that's a bad thing. Looks like we're going to try the cheeky zap. Oh, Jar Jar also. We've got dueling Chaos fights. Jar Jar also on it. Now we've got that higher level black belt. We'll see if that's enough. Okay, chat's saying slow 2 miss. That's good. Zap only takes down Black Mage on Jar Jar's side. That was 10 for 430. That's a lot better than what we were seeing before. Fade for 150. Rich just kind of throwing everything he possibly has. The White Wizard hanging on by a thread. We get 10 for 579. On Jar Jar's side, slow 2 hits the fighter, doesn't matter. Red Mage is trying to help with the Flame Sword. 9 for 304. Jar Jar takes down Chaos.
GG Jar Jar.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh. And Rich got 256 again, I think.
Again, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, Rich.
So we have, after Hate, you came in 11th. We had 12th place was Delasia, 2 hours, 1 minute, 50 seconds. And that puts Jar Jar Thinks at 13th place, 2 hours, 4 minutes, 17 seconds. 13th place for Jar Jar. Official racetime.gg time. Good job there, Jar Jar. You fought your way through. That was a bit brutal at times. We will see if Jar Jar is ready to come in for an interview.
And whilst we're waiting for Jar Jar to come in, I just have to say, I really wish I would have found that defense sword.
Yeah, that was Mermaid side. Mermaid side with another ribbon.
Oh, man. Would have been nice. I don't think it would have been Mermaid's nice, though.
No, that's the thing. It's like Mermaid's is great, so long as you don't actually have to go do it. Because it's just out of the way.
Yeah. Anywho, I am going to jump off and let y'all get on with this. Thank you for restreaming and commentating and tracking and doing all the nice things. And
you're quite welcome.
You know, everybody who's in the chat, go follow the rest of the runners, follow the commentators, and don't forget about the restreamers and the trackers. They deserve your love too. And on that, I'm gonna go take a nap.
GG, guys. Well done.
Oh, geez. That's 30 minutes in Topher. just 30 minutes in Topher. That's all I have to say about this scene.
And we are now joined in chat, our discussion here by Jar Jar. GG, Jar Jar. That was brutal.
I wish I found those Agamas earlier. I wish I checked. I went in thinking, oh my god, I got a 36 black belt. I got a defense sword on him. I got throw the white shirt on the frankly kind of useless black mage. No, Kraken said no. Kraken said your party's going down and you're not getting back up. And Tia 2 had to be sold by the black belt twice, I think. I don't know. It's a blur now.
It was a lot. That was, as we were discussing with Hate earlier, that seemed like a seed that started brutal and ended brutal.
Yeah, it definitely rewarded you for committing to 42 black belt. Something that it did not do and was greatly punished for. The one ribbon hurt. Stack growth kind of hurt as well. The red mage was really low on health. Even at like 20 something. What else? Like, what is there to really say? My routing was decent, I think. I got to Topher fairly early. I keybonked, but I found it, or luckily. I keybonked on Topher, but yeah, like 1 minute 30. Like no one's finished yet. Felt good. I had a chance, and then Chaos said no, and Kraken felt ticklish. I don't know what else there is to say. Oh, I guess the overworld was really dangerous.
Yeah, it was. Especially the sea.
Yeah. I was doing a whole bunch of encounter manipulations to try to avoid it at the start. Later on, I kind of just let it go because I felt like I was tanky enough to at least be able to get through it, and it turned out to be fine. But man, that overworld is rough. I think I went Okoya's twice and wiped twice, and then I had to go a third time.
Well, yeah, because the wolves had something nasty too. Blaze. They had Blaze.
They had Blaze, yeah, and it went through the ribbon because it's non-elemental, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
No, Blaze is heat, I thought.
Yeah, Blaze is fire-based.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought I had a ribbon on someone.
Well, but even at low levels, a ribbon is not going to do much. Yeah.
Oh. I almost died. I lost my grind, actually, in C.
That was what I was
watched.
going to ask, is how you felt leaving C, and then pretty much like the first pack that you went into was the ghost that almost got you, and then just trying to get out the rest of the way.
My heart sunk, and I started tunnel visioning. My inputs started dropping in the rest of the race, especially in Topher.
That was risky. We won't deny that.
I saw it, I was like, okay, this shouldn't be that bad. I have a black belt, it's decently equipped, got ribbon, can't do any, a status to against me, I can't get tranced by the sea trolls. I hadn't really fought the ghosts before, so I didn't really know how hard they were hitting. I knew they hit hard, but man, over 100 each was rough.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
They also had basically every stun skill that there possibly is, too.
Yeah. It was... Ooh, that was a rough seed. I don't... my nose is still fried. So, part of me was stuttering and being non-coherent.
No, it is okay. After a Topher like that, nobody will blame me whatsoever.
I was really happy. I was like, oh, when I went to C, I completely forgot about the cube. And I was like, wait, wasn't there didn't I see the shop item earlier? When I was in the middle of C, and I was like, oh no. Is it in Sky? Is it in Sky? Did I make the wrong choice? Luckily, it was not in Sky. What else? Early in the seed, it was Canal and Marsh, very deep marsh, and kind of went there immediately after handing in the herb because I kind of figured, hey, I had to exit. It's either dwarves or marsh. I might as well check somewhere that's chest dense, like marsh, and was rewarded for it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say really. This was quite the seed.
Yeah, chat was just wondering if this was a Danny special. It was not. It was one of mine, and mine are just as bad as hers. This is why people don't let me roll seeds.
Joy.
Yeah, sorry about that. I cursed everyone.
Yes, be careful what you wish for, everybody. When you say, I don't want a Danny seed, that typically means Dark Moon's the run that rolls the seed anyways, and you're pretty much just picking the lesser of two evils. That's kind of how it works.
Yeah, sometimes they're worse. It's bad. Just let Danny roll them. I know Wout offered to roll them, but, I was already signed up to do it, so... But great trial by fire for your first run of the Duck Derby.
Yeah, this was certainly a thing. I will not be prepared for next week.
Next week will probably be nicer because I won't be rolling that one.
Well, it's all loose, so we'll see.
Oh, the oops all loose. I love those spice sets.
Alright, I'm gonna hop off.
Alright. Thank you for popping by. You have yourself a good evening, and GG's.
GG's. Have a good stream.
Alright, so Rich is back on Tier 2. There's that nuke. Pretty much decimates the party. Everybody's standing at least, though, so that's all you kind of need. Lit 2 might... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say that. They're not standing for me at this point.
Oh, a miss. That's not what you want to see.
No, this is not... This is painful. I think it's the best way to look at that. This is just kind of painful.
It's okay. Tia's down. On it's on the chaos again.
Oh, it's only chaos. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, chaos doesn't have anything bad, right?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Lich 2 has all the bad stuff. We just kill him right away, so we don't even see it.
Credit to Professor Renderer, though. Fighting their way through this awful, awful mess. They are, only one orb away from being able to go and plink off of Topher for the next, half an hour.
Alright, so Rich does pull Chaos. So we're going to start with some Ice 3, Defense, and Thor's Hammer, I believe I saw? Nope, White Shirt, never mind. There's the good old Zap, and Rich is not... either isn't switching the ribbon or is having really, really, really bad luck.
Oh. Yeah, that is... By the third time you get 3 and 256, you just sit there going, I'm setting the controller down. This is no longer worth it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe he just didn't switch the ribbon there, or if he's got multiple ribbons. But yeah, it's just if that ribbon is on the fighter, which that's where you would think it would be. That's just that's the third time. That's terrible, terrible luck.
So I think a concern I have is he ground, but I don't think he actually exited after he ground up on the floors in here. So he may have lost whatever grinding he did.
No, it looks like it because his Red Mage or Red Wizard and White Wizard, they're both at 419 health, which that's what I thought I saw them on.
Okay.
On Chaos as well.
Okay.
But Tia 2 also has, or no, that's Tia 1 has Blaze.
But yeah, if you're gonna do a grind, and I respect the grind, but if you're gonna do a grind, you need to do it like you need to make sure you exit and save before you go down on your dive. Otherwise, this is just yeah, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's where we're at for the most part. It's just like yeah, that's how I feel about all of the seed. Yeah. It defies all conversation.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, it was the start was kind of it was terrible. Won't lie, it was pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the middle part, you know, once we got past C, I mean, that it really wasn't bad after that. And then you know, Topher happened, and it's just like, yeah, Topher happened.
Topher did Topher things.
This is everybody that's if you're new to it, this is why we also fondly call Topher the Great Equalizer, because everything good can happen in the seed and you're flying high and then Topher happens.
Yep.
And equalizes everything.
That's it. I mean, and that's a good lesson for the Ducklings to learn, is that just because you had a good run or a bad run going into Topher can be just about anything on its own. It's practically half the game on its own. I think you and I have both been in ones where the seed felt like a slog, but then Topher was a breeze by comparison. And then, I mean, there's other ones where, you know, I've been in spring tournament just this last year, where my run up to Topher was like 45, 50 minutes, and it went great. And then I spent an hour in Topher just because of the right combination of bosses and their skills. It happens.
Yep. Definitely does. That's why it's like you kind of have to recognize, especially, you know, if you're in a one-on-one race or even a big race like this, if Topher's bad, recognize, like, you know, what happened. Is this something that I can get around, or is this something I need more levels? I need to go hunt for equipment. I need to do something to, you know, get past this, you know, hurdle that I'm getting into.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that I think a lot of people need to learn, if they haven't already, is like evaluating what happened, how it happened, can you get around it, what do you need to change to be able to deal with it, and just at some point you need to have like a rule of, okay, I've bounced on this many times, I'm not making progress, and each time I bounce, I'm losing all the progress I've made level wise. So what is the point at which I need to bounce out and go try something else? When do I start to grind? When do I take my fighter to 32 or my black belt to 42? What is that point? For me, I have a rule that if I bounce 3 times from somewhere that I think I can get through, then I just need to go and I need to do something else.
Yeah, and it's even something beyond that too. It might not even be like, hey, it's 3 times. It's like if you get bounced hard by Topher right away and you've already got a 32 black belt.
Yeah.
The idea that, you know, if this bounces me twice, I'm going to waste another, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yep.
Or I just go grind right now and kind of hope that my opponent's having just as many problems and is going to maybe try to just beat their head against the wall against it. Whereas I'm going to, you know, just prep, and then hopefully breeze through Topher at that point. And you just kind of weigh that, if I go grind, it's going to take me 5 minutes, but I'm guaranteed to get through Topher on my next turn. So I'm going to spend this much time instead of wiping and, hope that my opponent just doesn't finish. And sometimes that's just kind of what you have to do is go the slow and steady game and just hope that your opponent doesn't get through.
Yep. Like, they can be the easiest flags in the world, too. Things that you've raced a ton and can finish in an hour and 15. But sometimes Final Fantasy Randomizer just wants to be like, you thought this was fast, but you're going to spend 2 hours here today. And that's just what it is.
Yep, that's why there's the saying. It's pretty much any randomizer. Rando is going to rando. You can make this. You can make this seed with the easiest flags, with the best intentions, and then Rando does Rando things.
Yup, Rando gonna Rando. Thanks to Crunchy Brown there for the raid of 6. We appreciate you coming to join this finale here of this first week of the Duckling Derby here on RPG Limit Break. Watching Rich do his 6th dive, I believe. We're gonna see whether or not this lucky number 6 is the one that lets him through Chaos here, but we've got 3 bosses left to go with this Kraken 2. So we're getting some buffing going on, getting the white shirt going. Kraken smacks the white of the knight for, but doesn't really do that big damage. Brax and Banes just in case, although they don't have a huge chance of landing here. More Bane.
Hey, so sometimes all you need is that chance.
That 8. Okay. Sure, that's the one right there.
See. It's that whole idea. So you're telling me there's a chance?
Exactly. The Dumb and Dumber meme. Professor Renderer, one boss behind.
Big thing to note, though, is that he does not have the knowledge that the other runners have at this point. This is his first dive in, and he starts with Tornado, which puts all 3 Light Warriors onto their knee. That looked like a nice swing from the Excalibur on Professor Renderer's side.
Yeah, was battle. But he's also, meanwhile, Rich is also just doing his usual buff and cast and getting things going. This Tiamat, holds no surprises for him at this point.
Yeah, and knowing as much about this Tiamat, it's he's kind of sitting on Nuke later. It's this is one of those ones you kind of want to speed and power through.
Yep.
To avoid the nuke, basically. If the nuke happens, you've got the knight that's got the life too, but you're trying to just kind of hope avoiding the nuke altogether, just in case other bad things happen. Kraken took a 461. He can't have that much health left.
No, there's not that much left.
Kind of the same thing on Tia. It seems like he's taking his Blix, so there can't be too much on Tia's side either. That Cure 3 came out just in time. Fighter's still up.
Wow. Kraken had more health than we thought.
Okay. There might have been a Cure 4 in there that we missed. That.
Oh, yeah, that's possible. That's possible. Gonna burn the Cure 4. Probably right time for that, too.
Yeah, big problem was I think that was his last one, so he's got no more Cure 4s for Tia or Chaos. And Chaos, assuming your White Wizard survives the zaps and things like that, it's definitely when you want it. But gets through. Witch is also through Tia too, so it's on. Oh, never mind. Sorcerers want to stop him one more time.
What if not running away?
They just came to say hi quickly, that's all. So that's interesting. On Professor Render's side, he only actually picked up Ruse on the night. He didn't pick Life 2 up.
That's dicey right there. Although, I mean, He only gets, like, at max 4 spell casts of it anyway, so...
Okay, so maybe Rich hasn't been changing his ribbon, because I noticed right now it's on the red mage. And it's like he's not quickly swapping. Okay, now he swapped it over. So I'm wondering if those other times he did not have that ribbon on the fighter previously. We get Fade, Power Bonk, some White Shirt. I'm pretty sure the Black Belt's doing little Black Belt that could strats.
Yeah, I think so. 61 damage!
Yes. Hey, that's 61 damage. We know this Chaos is chunky, so every little bit of damage technically helps, especially knowing what he's got waiting.
And he doesn't have Cure 4, so...
Yeah, there's another White Shirt. 5 for 1. That Black Belt's actually doing a good amount of damage. Oh, Chaos has Poison Touch on top of that. Cool. We're learning things. Yeah, just kind of all-out damage right now, as much as you can do, even if it's chip damage. There's 62 from Ice 3. Fade's going to hit for 109. Fighter Swing, 4 for 436. And 84 from the Black Belt. Kind of like this, just going kind of all out, knowing it's like I just got to do damage quickly. With 5 for 5, 261 from the Knight, 141. Here comes Zap, little Black Belt that could is no more.
Oh.
Everybody else survives. Some Ice 3, 56 damage, slow 2 on the White Wizards, misses. Even if it hit, didn't matter. There's a Fade for 109 and a Swing, 4 for 396. It's gonna kind of just keep the same thing. Chaos is not going into that spell list, thankfully.
Hey!
Well, there's Quad X. Okay, I lied. He starts that. And there he goes. 5 for 326. I don't even think we saw a nuke that time.
No, that was a pretty kind spell. It's exactly what he needed. I'll do updates on where Rich falls on the race time in just a second, but before we do that, we need to go focus on Professor Renderer.
Yeah, also on Chaos. Got some locks and Viz. More Invis, going to do a fight. That's 5 for 75. You're going to need some more damage than that. Slow 2 on the Black Wizard, ineffective. Another Invis 2. And we're going to temper that Knight up. What do we got from the White Wizard? Doesn't really look like we've got some Fade charges still. Just gonna swing. 5 for 126. Quad X. Ineffective. White Wizard punching. Just gonna punch with everybody. Five for 17. That's even after a temper. That definitely would be to be thinking about using that power bonk. There's the nuke. Big nuke. Takes the Black Wizard out. White Wizard's down on death's door. It's gonna cure 3 the White Wizard. Fortunately, Professor Renderer doesn't know there's another nuke that's at this point just waiting in the wings after that Fire 3. So maybe. Well, never mind. There's Zap first. 5 for 172. Cure 3 goes out. Potential survival. We're gonna fight.
Yeah.
5 for 124.
Unfortunately, still fighting with that X-Cal, which does okay damage. You saw it did pretty good there, but it is that thing of it just doesn't have the elemental bonus.
Oh, that big hit from Nuke on the Knight. That's not now that we're starting to see the good damage. That's when we're starting to see the good damage on the X-Cal. Oh, the slow. Yeah, that is not what you want to see. 11 damage now.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's the Sally the Wipe. Yeah.
So we have, since we're talking about Rich just a second ago, let's actually update our standings now. 14th place was Dusk Plume with 205.15. 15th place was Coront with 2:06.27. Iker came in at 16th place with 2:11.32. Budge Mono, 17th place, 2:14.03. 18th place was Toby Og, 2:22.57. And then Rich came in at 19th place, 2:28.51. We are at this point nearing the midnight hour. We're going to try and see if Rich is still around, wants to come in for an interview. And then once we're done talking to Rich, we will cut over to Professor Renderer and do a raid for him. I mean, it has been... We are on a 10-minute delay, so there's a possibility Rich went to bed. But we're going to see.
He is not in the Twitch chat at the very least. I know that much.
Yeah, not in Twitch chat. Not seeing him come into voice. Not getting responses. So we're gonna... I think at this point we're gonna cut it, and we're gonna send a raid over to Professor Renderer to finish this one out. Oh, wait.
He just responded.
Just got Rich. Okay. We'll get him in here then and do a quick little interview with him before we actually hit midnight. And we're now joined in chat by Rich. GG's, Rich, on finishing out that awful seed. Yeah.
Perseverance paid off. It only took me an hour to get through Topher, so, you know, that's a thing.
That was a thing. Yes, that was. So tell us about your thought process there.
Well, I mean, I figured that the bad RNG the first time was just a fluke, so I figured I'd try just to go again, and then after that the rails came off. And you saw that I ground some levels in between, went and tried again, and failed a couple more times, and then just kept on grinding levels, and then exiting and trying again, and you know, changing equipment around and seeing what I could do. Like I know that like the Bane Sword wasn't going to do anything against the Kraken, but I wanted something to happen, maybe. You know, and then of course on the final one, getting the Brack strats to actually go on the Kraken so early was actually felt really, really good. So.
Mm-hmm.
But. Ooh.
Sounds like you're still coming down from it.
Yeah. I went out to use the facilities and grab myself a soda so that I could just relax a little bit. That was rough. Like, I was feeling good going into Topher. I was feeling really good going into Topher, and had I not had the crappy chaos fight, you know, I would have finished like third or fourth. So.
I think most people had a fairly crappy chaos, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting to go see, like, you know, the top finishers, see how their chaos fight went, because, like, your last actual chaos fight that you ended up getting through on, he never even got to his nuke. Like, he just kept punching and not doing spells.
Right. Yeah, it was like I had to do different strategies, and I didn't want to keep on doing the same thing. You know, they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. So that's why I was trying to switch things up. You saw that I used the power gauntlet a little bit less on my final run through, and just tried to use it once or twice, and then swing, and then use those fade charges. As opposed to using the fade charges on the earlier fiends, like especially from the White Mage, I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to save those fade charges, see what I can do, and you know, see what we can do for the Kraken and for Tia and for Chaos, and thankfully it paid off. So eventually.
So what did you think about that seed early on? The opening, the closing of it, just all of that in general.
up until Topher, I felt really, really good about it. And I mean, I don't know how many people went to Onrak when I did, because I mean, obviously the seed was trying to tell us to go to Sky, but I wanted to go to Onrak. I'm glad that I found the canoe in Onrak. I played it safe after finding the canoe by exiting out and then going back in for Kraken afterwards. So basically triple dipping into the sea shrine.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt really good when I got that canoe by making that decision to go into the sea shrine. As opposed to trying to grind for the money to get the cube and go in the sky. But my logic behind that was, well, if I go into Sea Shrine, I'm going to get the money for the cube anyway, so I might as well go to the Sea Shrine, see what the item is. If it's not the canoe, oh well, not a big deal. I get an extra item and I get the money for the cube, and then I'll go into Sky. But thankfully it was the canoe, and I was able to do a few other things, and yeah, we got there. But like I said, an hour in Topher was a lot. I don't know how many times I died and restarted. Obviously, the exception. I intentionally exited out a few times, but I was just trying to do the best that I could.
Link, you got any questions for our runner?
No, I think I hit everything that I needed to. So
Okay. Well, we're gonna send things over to Professor Renderer in just a couple for the do a raid over onto their stream. Let them run until they're done. Any final thoughts on your run at this point, Rich, and just for the Duck Derby in general?
The Duckling program is absolutely amazing. I've been playing since April, so I'm pretty excited about this. I had a bit of a poor showing today, but I didn't want to just forfeit. I rarely ever forfeit out of any of the seeds that I run, regardless of how long it takes. And I'm hoping that next week I can get better, and then maybe we can get back up in the into the top 10 or something along those lines for the week 2 race, and get back on track and possibly finish strong. So definitely grateful for the randomizer community. Final Fantasy randomizer community is excellent, and they are so welcoming, and I'm definitely appreciative of that. So
we're glad to hear that. All right, well, and then at this point, Link, you wanna take us home?
Yeah, just thanks everybody for coming out and watching the first run of the summer 2021 Duckling Derby. Appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate our 4 runners. Hey, Jar Jar, thanks Professor Render and Rich. Thanks Dark Moon for doing the commentary with me, and thanks Woke for doing the tracking for us and keeping us honest. And when we're trying to pay attention to 4 different runners, especially when we're clenching during Jar's escape from Sea Shrine and everything else that was happening. But I think other than that is going to do it for us for this broadcast of the Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer. We're going to go ahead and raid Professor Render and everybody cheer him on and get him through Topher, and we'll see you next week for race number 2.